Hello, good morning. My name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is Star Wars Saturdays, my ongoing anthology campaign, where every month I choose a different RPG system and hack or just shave or reskin it so that it can be part of a tableau of various stories that we have told in the Star Wars universe. I've slowly progressed the timeline so that events from previous games can impact events in future games and characters can reoccur and the like. So we don't really jump around. That always makes me think of the Crisscross song. It's sad how that's infected my brain. But thank you, Leandra. Now it's totally it's in there. Like I want to. Anyway, we're currently in the timeline after Palpatine has died the first time. If you don't know what I mean by first time, I'm sorry, or maybe I'm not. Anyway, the Death Star 2, amazingly named, prosaically named Death Star 2, has been destroyed. The Empire has fallen generally as the New Republic is rising. However, there is this Imperial remnant here under the control of a former Grand Moff named Zsinj. He's now named himself the Warlord of the Empire, and he has declared the new capital of the Empire to be Serenno, which is where you suckers are in the capital city of Serenno, Carannia City. Now, while he is the warlord of the Empire and his control does stretch over a significant slice of the galaxy, reaching from parts of the core all the way out to the outer rim, he has seen fit to allow the corporations of Carannia City and Serenno to handle most of the goings on as he focuses his eyes towards the galaxy and trying to cement his hold over the remnant of the Empire. That said, there are a significant number of Imperial stormtroopers and forces at his beck and call, and from time to time, or if someone he likes convinces him, he will deploy them amid the streets of Carannia City. That said, generally in Carannia City, the corps run things, and that oligarchy is strong enough that those who would complain do not have a voice to do so. In the previous two sessions, you guys have been running jobs because the approach here for Neon City Overdrive, which is the RPG system we're using, is that that's a cyberpunk game, but I've just gently reskinned it so that it could work in Star Wars. And so I feel like it's more cyberpunk than it is Star Wars at times, and I'm okay with that. That's part of our vibe here. We're just trying to see what it would feel like to have those neon tinted rain slick Duracrete streets that are heavily cyber influenced. It's true. Cyberpunk, Star Wars can be pretty darn cyberpunk, especially any of the stuff that happened in the CGI series, the Star Wars Clone Wars series, especially stuff that happened down in the lower levels of Coruscant. So that's what I'm using as my general inspiration and excuse to do this. So we do have, you guys have been running some jobs. You have a fixer by the name of Janice. You've tangled with a couple of street gangs around Block 13. You made some enemies, and you made some credits, some good credits. And then you turned in a guy who was sprung. But you guys don't know that. But he was, totally was. As a reminder, we do have some lines and veils. They are on our safety enroller, and we have a few ask firsts. There's a possibility that I may be asking first in a scene that could happen. I don't know for sure, but if it does happen, I'll check in before we dive into that scene. And if we never go there, that's perfectly okay with me too. Now, of course, on top of that, we do have the X card, meaning, hey, you didn't realize you had a personal line against this thing that's happening, or hey, this thing is just not comfortable for you, for whatever reason, you don't have to defend yourself. You can X card through various methods on the roller. You can just say, hey, I need to X card, just say something audibly, drop it in the Zoom chat. If I don't react to it immediately, anyone else who sees it, feel free to say, hey, Rich, think somebody's X carded this thing. If I start to dance towards a line, feel free to do the same thing. Say, hey, Rich, it feels like we're approaching this, or don't forget we have a line against that. I really appreciate when we're all on board as a team effort to make sure that everyone respects the lines that have been drawn in the veils as well. But that X card, if it is dropped or pulled or played or whatever phrase, verb you want to put to it, then we'll pause just for a moment as I check in to make sure that number one, you're okay, and that I understand what's been X carded. And if we need to, we may take a break just to kind of step back. That will be excised from our play. No fuss, no muss, and then we'll move on. And that's all the safety leading up. Let's go around the horn and remind ourselves of our cyberpunks, which are the player characters that everyone will be playing. We're going to start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, which means Cody, you get to go first.
Hey. Hey, I'm Cody. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Graffin Block Typho. He's a human, near human, native to Serenno. He comes from a long line of typhos who've lived on the planet since before the Empire, before the Republic, back when it was still ruled by its counts. And he's looking to restore the family business out from under the rule of the corpse.
Awesome. Next up is Greg.
Hey, I'm Greg Dalder. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Taz. Taz is a Twi'lek. She's got a really big gun, and she really messes stuff up when she tries to do things. She blew up a speeder that would have been a perfect escape vehicle. So we ended up in the trash heap last time. So and she used to be a member of the Razor Girls, or at least she feels that she used to be a member of the Razor Girls. The Razor Girls might feel otherwise. I think that's it. And she has a flaw of being wanted and very obvious.
It's true. That's not a good combo. Not the best of combos. Most wanted people want to not be very obvious. Tez is in trouble. Leandro, you are up next.
Hi, my name's Andrew. You see him pronouns. I'm playing Luna Sunfell. Uses they them pronouns. They're a human bounty hunter who's accustomed to better things in life, or at least a better class of life outside of a cyberpunk dystopian city. One might say they're more accustomed to a more Star Wars-y life than a cyberpunk life. Because they probably feel that if they were in a more Star Wars universe, they would have done better against a vibro axe wielding bunny girl, which they did not do so well last time. They lost quite a bit of themselves, literally, and they're now dealing with the trauma because of that, which has only just fueled their drive to get the heck out of here, out of the city and off back into the stars. Who knows if they'll get there.
Thank you very much, Leandro. Sherry, you're up next.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Court, who also uses she, her pronouns currently. Court is young. She is an archaeology brat. She's probably in the equivalent of college right now, has some classes she has to go to on occasion, but she can put those off for most of the semester until the end. So not a big deal, right? And in the meantime, she's living her best life down here in the slums. How should we say, a little bit of touristing, a little bit of, checking things out, but she found these kind of cool people and they're doing some fun things. And it is really, really fun just to play around with all this stuff.
Slumming it. I love it. And last but certainly not least, Steven, you're up.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and today I'm playing Heat, whose pronouns are also he, him. And Heat is an ex-stormtrooper that had been heavily augmented, and he has had his augmentations, for the most part, removed. He has some things that are left over, like a ghost chip and things like that. He is an he is considered to be AWOL, is one of his flaws, and he also is trying to make penance for his past deeds. So he tries really hard not to kill.
Fantastic. So we begin, not much time has passed since you guys resolved things with the terrible slicer Boris Oblon, so bad at his job, and handed him over so that his misdeeds in breaking in to get some pay data from Ping could be handled by that corporation, which got you guys paid. And I think I'd love to, though I did complain at one point about starting off scenes at a cantina. That is exactly the best place to gather everyone. But first, I have a question for Court. So, Court, there is a local celebrity, a pop star, who's been fronted by the Kitsune Media Group since you were very young, which everyone else would probably say you still are very young. But you, of course, know that you are a grown up.
Exactly. I am so past that era of, yeah.
You
of,
are.
Of commercial synthesized pop groups that are just served up without any artistic integrity.
Exactly. But still, if you never had any hollow posters of Kofuku, your friends certainly
Well, I
did.
had some. I just put them away.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Easy enough to do. You just close it up like a scroll. No one will ever know. There's just this like hollow shaped clean spot on your wall in the arcology where you had the pictures of Kofuku. So what is it about Kofuku that you found the most either entertaining or inspiring? Was it her style, her attitude, her music? What was it about her that you found thrilling when you were younger, when you were a child?
It was her dance moves, because like every season she would come out with a whole new series of them, and then it was the whole thing that I and my friends would have to learn them all. And as we got older, they were getting more challenging. So it was sort of like perfect for us, if that makes any sense. But I mean, you would go to parties and the adults were trying to do it too, and it was hilarious. So yeah.
Awesome. Block. Kofuku once had a local concert. This was a few years ago, before the Empire takeover, like when Serenno really became the central front for the Imperial remnant. So things were a little freer then. In the aftermath of that concert, what's one scar or memento that Chipped Off Cantina has as a result of the throngs of young fans who came to the concert and then all ended up at Chip Off Canteen because you just happened to be 2 blocks away from the venue where it was held?
Yeah, I think okay. I think the scar is more of a reputational one. Chip Off Cantina kind of had a certain reputation beforehand. And since then it's known as a place where, you know, that might occur, that these people, these throngs of fans might, you know, it used to be kind of a backwater, not a backwater, but like a blue collar working bar. And now it's like, now that fan base, they come back frequently as they kind of remember, oh, you remember after that concert, how great it was to all go back there. So occasionally you'll have, you know, these packs of fans coming in and crowding and taking pictures. And that's another scar, I think, is that in that night, in that one evening, the inside of the Chip Off Cantina was so thoroughly documented in holovids and stuff like that that fans were taking, that there's no secret area in the cantina any longer. It's like that place has been fully mapped out by anybody who has the means or interest to access all of that data.
Nice. That is wonderful. Taz, as we take a look at the number of Razor girls that you know, Wisher, who's the kid sister of Barrage, she still is a super fan of Kofuku. What is the thing that Wisher got you to admit was not terrible about Kofuku that you maybe grudgingly had to admit back when you were still part of the Razor Girls?
I think Kofuku has a really like, at least her public persona, it's a really like positive thing. This is such a bleak world for kids to be raised in, and she's not, maybe she doesn't speak up against the corpse as much as Taz would prefer, but I think Kofuku has like it's a little more optimistic and gives the kids a little bit of hope for something beyond Serenno.
Nice. Are you imagining Kofuku, did she do some kind of like anti-drug stance that was maybe just a little, or do you think it was just mostly like, hey, be true to yourself kind of message? That
more like, hey, be true to yourself kind of thing, because I think being too anti-drug would probably turn off the Razor Girls. I don't think they're as crazy as the sad boys. Wasn't that the name of the group?
The sick boys with the
sick
Z.
boys, sad boys, sick boys. I don't think they're as drug crazy as the sick boys. But yeah, no, I think Kofuku like gives kids hope that there might be, because Kofuku probably like goes off world, right? And does stuff. And so, you know, gives the kids an idea that they could do something more than just stay on Serenno.
Awesome. Oh man, Luna, you know what, where was the last place that Kofuku traveled on a tour that you watched, mostly just to remind yourself of that, the time when you were able to go off planet?
Oh man, I think it is. I think it's definitely like a much greener world than
Nice.
where we are. I think it's like, I don't know which planet, but I'm imagining the concert area to be like out, kind of like out in the middle of a field, and like the skies are this like aurora borealis kind of like effect as well.
Oh,
That's why Kofuku went there, because like it saves up on the special effects when the when the skies around you are like providing some of it, and it really plays into it. And because it was a field, and they kind of, you know, and Luna's probably thinking about it cynically, like, oh, they probably cleared out a lot of the local fauna there to get all those people there. But you know, it was a big to do. Like, they were even like selling like, you know, sky barge like tickets, so that and there were like folks who are like illegally kind of like parking there or floating their spaceships to watch. It was a very big to do in a world that was like so much more colorful, or like, I guess more naturally colorful than whatever neon we have here in Serrano.
Awesome. So we'll even say that was maybe a planet that just happened to be outside of the, you know, the Zsinj's empire. Maybe it was Chandrilla, which is an agro world in the Bormia sector. So yeah, it was totally cool. Chandrilla is this beautiful, wonderful agricultural world. So that the aurora borealis being the natural lighting, really cool. Yes. So maybe you even have like a vid that you've kept of some of the Vista like drone footage that they took of some of Chandrilla, part of your dreams. So we pick up at the Chip Off Cantina. And I have to use it. It's the 5th anniversary since Kofuku's concert, and there are a number of arcology brats who've come in, just kind of storming in. They're wearing all of their like halos and neon and the like, and they've taken over a good third of the bar. as we begin the scene. Court, are you hanging out with these arcology folks? Like, I think they're like friend of friend kind of deal, or you guys have all been to XY school or experience, or are you mostly hang out with your new friends, your slumming friends?
I think that is that she's the person who goes between them. Like she'll stop and like frame the pictures, the vids for them, hold the camera so they can get the whole group and all that stuff.
Nice.
And like she knows who they are and asks how their stuff is going. But then she goes and makes drinks and stuff too. So it's like to them they're not sure if she just has extra privileges here or what, because she clearly can't be working here. She's too young to be a bartender.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Do you still slip behind the bar occasionally to
There's just so much need. Luna's fallen way behind. So yeah.
Luna, how are you deal with the fact that there's so many orders coming in? The tips are pretty good too, by the way.
Yeah, the tips are good, and definitely Luna's like eyeing that. But Court's not wrong. Luna has been kind of slipping behind in their work, almost as if this isn't really what they want to do. Who knew that was the case? But yeah, like they look more distracted. They look like they really don't want to talk to people. But they're mostly eyeing these arcology brats, like they have a very hipster air around them right now. Like I'm over Kofuku. I don't care what these kids are doing these days. Even though they still they still have.
I know I asked for lemon in the half calf, but I really wanted like some soy pho. So can you just take out the lemon from my calf, or like make me a new one?
Luna's gonna take a capsule that doesn't look like anything. We'll just drop it in a drink, sizzles, and just goes there.
Nice. And Block, where are you in the bar as things are going down right now? Are you in your normal, like you can hook up to everything, got your data pad going? Or are you moving around?
I think because it's such a busy night for the cantina, he's moving around, and he also I think Block has he has the appearance of kind of the grumpy old man at the bar, and he leans into it for these people because they seem to really like that, and deep down Block's actually really happy to have these folks here. I'm not sure if you mentioned, is Kofuku, are they a local act originally that have then grown?
Yes, Kofuku is local. She's from Carannia City. Kitsune's pumped her up. Yeah, she's well known.
As far as Block's concerned, this is they're a local band. They're a local artist that they deserve local respect. And he's a fan, though he does not show it. So instead, he plays the role of the grumpy gruff dive bar owner. And he'll deliver drinks and stuff like that, and give the whole I can't believe this city's going down the pipes and stuff like that. Give them the charm that they got 5 years ago when they first showed up here. That kind of thing.
And it's the kind of thing where you recognize a couple of these kids. They're starting to push into their 20s, but they're still a little bit of a bon vivant style. But you also see there's a couple of like siblings or youngers, like this is their first time, so it's a passing down of the torch of this silliness.
Right. And Block is happy to see tradition based in Serenno. Like he loves that. And he's happy that the cantina plays that in someone's role. So he's, like I said, he's happy to play that kind of role for everyone.
Awesome. And then Heat, where this is a whole lot of activity. How are you dealing with this? What are you doing?
So I think this happens from time to time, and Heat basically just, sees all the arcology brats kind of come in, and, slips to the back door where the alley is, where he's done business before. And I think as it gets more and more crowded, he just takes his drink, opens the back door, and stands there, as if, he's taken his business into the back alley, and people leave him alone back there.
Cool. All right. So that's perfect opening, because the last question I have is, Taz, when you received a ping on your comm link from Sable asking where you are, and then saying, "Oh wait, you're at that stupid cantina. Meet me in the alley." Did you agree to that, or are you ducking out?
As Taz works the door at Chip Off Cantina, she has her hands full because there's all of these chain codes to run on these kids. Some of them shouldn't be here. I got to send some of them home because they're too young to be at the cantina, and we can't have that kind of crackdown. And so she like looks at, whatever the equivalent is, like looks at the notification and just swipes it. Like, nope, no, can't deal with that right now. Go, whoa, 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 wait.
Nice. And all these arcology kids are trying to give you, like, they have these long string of names and surnames and the like, but they all want to use their handles like Court does. So it's all these like silly, not really a name thing, but more like a verb or an adjective of some kind. So,
it's not like there's a list. We have an occupancy limit.
no, Hackneyed says, because they heard that was a really cool name. No, totally. I'm way older. Look at my ID. And they're like showing you this little Hall ID, which kind of futzes a little bit and maybe has their eyes, but like it's totally wrong.
I grab it from them. I throw it on the ground and say, go get your money back. And
"Cuz you told me this was good," Hackneyed yells as you grab them by their neon colored scruff hoodie there and start to lead them out and kick them out. So we'll stick with Heat though as you step out into the alleyway. You step in the alleyway to get a breath, get away from some of the cacophony, as yet again, like, does Block have a jukebox you like pipe music in? Because someone's figured out a way to play Kofuku's music now. Like, that's starting to blare. And yeah, so it's the din, the craziness, heat, it's a bit much. And when you step out into the alleyway, you see that it's raining. And standing in the rain at the end of the alleyway, you see that there's a speeder bike, a swoop, really. Difference between speeder bike and swoops: speeder bike looks very functional. Swoops are definitely more stylistic, kind of like a Harley, like an ape hanger, lowrider kind of deal. Right, exactly. And you see that there's a female. You would probably recognize a Razor Girl. I mean, she's got a pair of vibro swords, one slung over her back, the other one is hung in this kind of cool holster off to the side. She's wearing a full like headdress mask thing and then a rain slick coat. Does Heat know who Sable is, or you just recognize that she's a Razor Girl?
I think that there's been some run-ins before with the Razor Girl, so doesn't know her exactly, but knows her type.
Okay.
And I think that Heat kind of steps out, closes the door to the alleyway. The water drips on him a little bit, and he glances down and he sees the swoop bike, and he looks back at the door, kind of weighing his options, and like leans up against the alley wall.
And she's got a bit of a jander to the way that she walks. You can also tell from her gait that she's probably not human. Like there's a certain hitch that tells you that her knee joints are a little different. And you can also see from the movement of the hoodie that she's probably got some kind of neck tendrils or something's going on underneath there. And she walks up, looks around with those blue, like bright blue eyes that she has.
Hey, where's Taz?
I think he just shrugs and motions with his head back towards the entryway to the bar.
Huh. Hey, old timer. I'm here to see her. You don't want any trouble. Go ask her to come out.
He kind of tilts his head. What's in it for me?
She looks at you for a moment.
I don't know, 5 creds? Enough to get you another synth alcohol or something.
And I think so. He opens the door and he looks inside, and there's all this din of all of these, partiers. And he closes the door. He holds up a finger and he walks around the building, right? Because he's not going to go back through that. And he gets back to the front and he says, "Taz, there's someone who wants to see you in the back."
It's a really big tip if you just let me stay. Come on,
Whoa,
all my friends are here.
Whoa, hey, I really, there's so many of these children.
I'm not a child.
So Heat grabs the one who's whining and tosses her out of line, and then says, "You should go," and steps back in where Taz is to do the bouncing.
And I think this freaks Taz out because I'm thinking Heat doesn't usually do the bouncing. Yeah, okay.
And he's gonna, you can tell from his attitude, he's gonna be super grumpy, right? Something doesn't work, he's gonna toss him. He doesn't have that customer service.
Okay, but hold, please, hold. Heat, who's back there?
It's one of the Razor girls. It's the one with, a cloak and, glowing eyes and all of that.
Sable?
Okay.
Carking Sable? And Taz will take the exact same route Heat just took back around.
Hey, Taz, you can't be leaving the door. Someone needs to be working that.
Heat's working the door. Heat's working the door.
He's working the door.
Oh man, they're like, "Who's this Heat? Who's Heat? Oh, it's that guy. He's the big guy." Oh man, will he yell at us like Block? A few of the younger ones who don't know what's going on, like they're going to go get the grumpy experience from you, Heat. You're in it. You're in it now.
Yeah.
So Taz, you come around and you see that Sable's there. She's got the rain is dripping down and running over the slicker, and the neon is against the puddles, like it has that kind of pink line across it that stops at her synth leather boot.
Taz, you haven't been around. What's going on? Heat on you? Trouble?
I don't know, Sable, how's my bike? Taz will look over at the swoop bike. Still riding okay?
Sable looks over at the ride.
Oh, she's good. Keeping her warm for you.
Listen, it's Barrage, right? Queen. I'm guessing Queen Requiem is the leader of the Razor Girls?
I think so.
Yeah. Listen, I talked to Requiem. I'm out. You don't have to keep checking on me. I work here now. And she gestures at this as probably 3 screaming girls go out the back door, go, and close the door.
One of them looked like they were going to throw up. And now the other girls are pulling her back in. No,
close the door.
The bathroom.
Wow, you really traded up here, Taz.
Listen, Sable. Did you come here to check on me? That doesn't seem like you.
Listen. The sick boys. They're real pissed after something happened around Block 13 a week ago. Requiem's decided there's gonna be a fight. So, we're calling in a marker. We need you. And that big carking gun of yours.
And you expect me just to show up and cause a whole bunch of heat to come down on me with the sick boys? To come down on this cantina?
Sable walks a few steps closer, puts her hand on your shoulder.
Yeah. This is a Karkin cantina. It's nice. But if the sick boys win out, you know they're gonna come rolling after you and this cantina.
And I suppose that if I don't, the Razor Girls are gonna come roll in this cantina too?
No. Requiem doesn't want to play it that way. But you and I know we got a hell of a better chance with you by our side. And I know you don't want to see us go down to some womp rats like the sick boys.
Taz will look over at the bike. All right. So where is it going to be?
And I think that's where we cut, right? That's the where's it going to be? That's all you need to see in the scene. That's really cool. So you're in there. There are several underage individuals, patrons of the bar who you're just like, their idents are total trash, and they are really proud of them. One of them actually, the ident looks like Kofuku, and the person, the boy who's holding it up to you, not even close. So, as you're checking all those things, your ghost chip gives a soft hum. It's a proximity alert. Imperial signal. Coming in fast. What do you do?
I think I step into the bar. So I immediately go on alert. I think there's like a some of these youngsters are kind of right in front of the door. I think I shove them out of the way, and this is really unpleasant for them. They're like, "Hey!" And I step inside, and I flick the little thing to cause the what's it called, the doors that come down whenever we close up shop. Shutters.
Oh,
Thank you. Shutters. So basically the windows and the door is closed, and I think I turn around and I shout at Block, there's incoming coming in. It's imps.
Well, guests, everyone enjoy your drinks. We'll be right back. How do you know this? You can't just close the shutters. We're working right now.
I think he walks up, kind of thuds up.
Oh, Block, do you have a mop from the girl that threw up because she didn't get to go to the alley?
No, there's no mop. It's actually like he just kind of threw down some shredded up he put down just a big towel. He's like, it'll keep till later. I'll get a droid to blast the floor. It's fine.
Nice. Okay, so he tells you that. He drops the shutters, says imps are on his way. A couple of the arcology kids near you here are like, what's an imp? I don't know. Hold on, I'm looking it up. And they're like,
oh man,
looking
these
up
kids.
On their data pad.
Can I then I know he doesn't mess around when he thinks these things are about to happen. So I would like to quickly jack in or slice into, I guess it wouldn't even be slicing because I have access to it, the cameras and stuff like that outside on the streets to get an idea of what is around us.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, you pop in, and I know that we've got feedback for more die rolls, but like that just seems like a thing you can just do.
Yeah. So
sure enough, you see an APC one of the Imperial APCs, the stormtrooper carriers, like zipping along the streets, and a couple people are quickly moving off the streets as they were crossing it, and it stops just out front.
All right. Yeah. I kind of sit up from the console, look at Heat, give him a short nod, look towards Luna and Court, and then start looking around for Taz. Where's that big guard? Where's the big gun?
And I think Heat actually walks up to one of the tables where some of the youngsters are sitting, and they're like, they've got their drinks on it, and he overturns the table, spilling all their drinks. Like they're sitting there, and he ducks down behind the table.
Nice. I think you get the like, whoa, oh, and one of them says, "Oh man," and they're taking a picture of it. Another one says, "Yeah, it still tasted like lemon anyway. I hated that drink."
Your drinks will be cogged. You can get new ones. This is a part of it's everyone. Any of you closer to the door, you should come sit at these other tables. They're cleared up. Block kind of pushes stuff out of the way so they can make room and go elsewhere.
Nice. So we cut outside. Taz, Sable's like left, and you're in the alleyway when you see the APC zip past, or the troop transport zip past. I assume you don't stay outside, or do you want to take off because you're wanted? What do you want to do?
Yeah, no, Taz is gonna like just duck back in the door that Heat was using before. And then probably, late to the party, sees Heat is tossed over a table and the shutters are down. Taz will be like, so I assume we already know that the imps are here?
Yeah, he kind of let us know. Where were you?
We'll talk about the future employment here in a second.
Nice. Court, a few of the arcology kids that you like half know, they come over buzzing about the whole excitement that's going on. One of them has a data pad. I still don't, I see some like references to like winged monsters, but I'm not sure what an imp is.
Me either. I said, do you want a new drink?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Heat hears Court kind of say that and kind of leans over and says, they need to get out of here. Tell them that there's more stuff out in the alley, like drinks, or maybe this singer is out in the alley, or anything to get them out.
Oh. All right.
You hear thum, 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 thum. It's someone with, plasteel stormtrooper armor is beating on the the shutters. Yeah, beating on the shutter outside.
Yeah, and I'll go, oh, hey, there was a message that we got that Kofuku might show up, but if we sneak around through the back alley, we'll be the first ones to see her show up. Come on.
Okay, well, let's see if you can pull this off.
I don't know.
Some of them will fall for it. Others may be a little leery of
exactly.
This.
But there's things. Yes. So let's see here. I haven't looked at my character sheet for convincing people on things.
You're good at arcology, brat, and sneak is a couple of things that you could pull in here.
Yeah. So.
Although Optimus and Tenacious could be amusing if you want to bring that in. So remember, you get one for trying, then you choose a trademark, and that trademark gives you a second die, and then any edge associated with that gives you one as well. We are in a new session, so we can start all over for gear. So if you wanted to have some kind of gear to show off to give you some flash and extra dice, you can do that as well.
All right. So I think she does have, I would do some gear. We've already established that she has the aesthetic stuff. So I think she'll probably do I will use that because essentially what it is, I'll have it programmed and it'll do like Kofuku and like the current year, the date and the place, you know, like she'll put that thing like it's an announcement thing. Well, she'll flash that and go, come on, let's go. Get her pictures taken with her. And I'll use Optimus and Tenacious because
Optimus,
I'm sure
Tenacious.
I can get them out there.
So we'll call that 4 dice, and we're going to say that the cacophony of all this going on is going to give you 1 die against. So 4 positive, 1 negative. Remember, we're doing numbers are positive and pips are negative.
Okay, so
there are a whole lot
those.
of dice here. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if we should maybe clear those before you roll, unless people have moved theirs off.
It looks like to me they've moved them off. So I've got the 3, I've got the 4, the ones towards the top, and then the 1 pip that's right next to them. And I'm going to re-roll. Okay, they re-rolled. I got a 6, a 4, a 2, and a 5, and the 5 gets knocked out, but the 6 still stands.
6 stands, so that means a full success, no complications, as you sneak out the youngest ones that shouldn't be here and maybe grab a few others as they're all on this hunt for Kofuku, and they're like, oh, it's just like it was 5 years ago. It's amazing. Come on, sis. And they're heading out to the alleyway to beat feet out of here. Block, it's your place. You're the name on the registrar. The stormtroopers will know that if they look it up, if they even bother, as you hear.
Open up. In the name of Warlord Zsinj, open up.
Based off the feed that I was checking, it's an APC. How many troopers are with them?
APC, currently there are 4 outside of here. There are 4 that have gone across the street to one of your competitors. Another dive bar, not nearly as popular.
Okay. So they're not just coming to us, at least. It appears that they're okay. I'm gonna look towards Heat. Heat's hiding behind taking cover. Do you have a gun drawn or anything, Heat?
Yeah, sure. I think I pulled out my gun, but you know, I've got the table up there, and whenever you head towards the door, I duck down behind it so I can't be seen.
Okay. I'm gonna head to the door, and I'm gonna call out to the trooper. What seems to be the problem? Sorry, it's Kofuku night here. I think one of the smashed a button. The shutters all dropped. What can I help you with, trooper?
And then one of the kids inside goes, it's just like stormtroopers. They're like stormtroopers outside. Oh, this is amazing. And what I'm like gets down by you, Heat. It's like, oh, this is so cool. I've never been arrested. So Block, as you glance back, you notice Taz, who looks very obvious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's hiding. Taz is just standing there.
Taz, I'm gonna like do some sign language, be like, you know, you gotta get out, get down, hide behind the bar, something. I'm not saying
Taz is trying to do obscurity. She's gonna get that mop out from the back and start swiping up that spot in the, back turn to the door.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get the shutters up, trooper. What seems to be the problem?
We are here to serve warrants. We have one person reported, female, Twi'lek. We have an AWOL trooper from another exterior planet.
Oh, you know what? That sounds. I'm not gonna find him in here tonight. Normally you would. But this is I told you it's the Kofuku night. Those kind of hard types, they went across the street for the night, I think. Well, I got nothing but arcology brats in here, trooper.
Awesome. So there are 3 negative dice you're going to have to roll against here, Block, if you want to convince these stormtroopers to go away.
Yeah,
Don't forget, anyone who wants to help is welcome to try.
I can help. I've got a bunch of Kofuku fans with me.
Yeah, perfect.
We can just round the corner. Yeah. So
yeah,
we can
you're
just
like,
kind of come around the corner to go
like
look at it.
Across.
All right, so
and they're over there taking pictures and stuff.
Exactly.
So So I have 1 die just for trying. I don't have anything else that applies to this. Helping gives me an extra die. Is that right?
No, the way that helping works is that Court will roll, and then Court can give you extra dice based on her success.
Okay.
I would argue that the old cantina being dark and dingy might provide a couple extra dice.
Okay. Yeah. Like,
but I am interested in seeing it fail too. If you want to just go for the
No, I think you're right. I think dark and dingy. It's tough to see into. They can't really get a vibe in there. Maybe.
All right. So Court, you're making a roll, which will then be help.
Yeah, I'll do archaeology, Brett, and sneak in that sort of way that we
good. All right.
carry ourselves with that absolute privilege that we can wander up close to the Imperial troopers. So I've got just 2 dice is what I roll.
3 because you've won for trying.
Okay, so I'm rolling those top 3.
I see it.
Yep. And here we go. Oh, only the top 2 rolled. Let me roll the second. A 5.
Okay, so partial success and boons add a die to the leader's roll. So you get 1 extra die for that block. See, 1 for trying, 1 for help from the archaeology brats outside. Are you accepting the logic of dark and dingy? I think that I would be okay with that being 1.
Yeah,
one die?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so it's 3 and 3.
Okay. I'm going to populate it just by clicking the button, and then I'll roll them.
And
all
then you
at
roll.
once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm just so I have them. Come on now. Oh dear. It seems to be stuck.
Uh-oh.
I wonder if it.
If you click on the display new die rolls, Pips, you then have to add a D6 after that.
Click the die. Yep. All of that is true. Okay, so
So you're doing 3 and 3. I just moved 1 down, or unless you moved it over, doesn't matter.
Yep, I think we both moved at the same time.
Yep.
All right.
I'll stop moving dice. You know what you're doing.
Select all these boys and re-roll them.
Here we go. Here comes the re-roll.
Ooh.
Oh man, it looks like a 5.
1 unchallenged 5.
A single 5. All right. So as we take a look at our rule snapshot to remind ourselves what we're looking for, 4 or 5 is a partial success. So partial success of trying to convince them that you guys are kofuku. I think what that partial success is that the stormtroopers are delayed. They're still got to come in here. They still got to serve their warrant, but they buy it that the shutters can't be opened as the stormtrooper says,
"Listen, I have to inspect that place. I'll give you some time. We will not rip down these shutters as long as you can get it down in a few minutes."
Of course, I'm working the best I can. These things they're old. You can tell my cantina is very old and dingy. It's not well kept. It just hasn't been like it used to. And then I'm going to turn and look at Block and Taz and kind of be like, "You gotta go," waving them out the back door.
And I think Heat gets up and heads towards the back door. I think Taz is there with the mop and grabs Taz kind of by the arm, opens the door, gets real low, pokes his head out, sees all the young fans in the alleyway, and the 2 of us duck out, or I duck out into the alleyway amongst the fans.
I think as Heat comes by, Taz tosses Luna a blaster, skids one across to Luna so that they have something when the troopers come in case things go poorly. And then as we go out with Heat, I hand you this super chromed out day glow RGB cigarette thing, and I'm like, let's try and blend in with the kids.
Live it into that flaw of being obvious. I love it. That's amazing. So let's say there's the possibility of you guys being spotted, which means they'll give chase, and it's Star Wars, so that's why I'm justifying it to be 3 dice. So you guys get to roll, gets to try to sneak out of the way. One can lead and the other help. Probably the way to go.
Oh man, we're both not great at this. But I think Heat might be better. Do you want me to assist you, Heat, with my terribleness?
Sure.
Oh boy. One for trying. And I mean, it's hard to invoke my BFG because cover an area I feel kind of applies, but no, I think it's just one. I think it's just one.
Hold on. I mean, if you want, I think as a gunfighter, you need to know how to move around a battlefield. And you are dodging them.
And dodge.
So I do think you've got 3 dice right there.
3.
Sorry if it feels like I'm being too nice.
I think that's fair. All right. So I'm gonna do it in the left-hand side. You said there's 3 negative dice?
There are 3 negative dice, and you just oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, for help, I think you just roll. You just roll, and then
okay.
So you just roll your 3 positive, and that will add to or not add to Heat's dice. Okay, we're going to re-roll these 3 up here in the top. The 3 green, the 2 5 and 5. All right, go for it.
Yes. All right. 2 2s and a 3.
2 2s and a 3. Your help is
not great.
That is a lack of help because those 3 or less is a failure, which means, yeah, you realize that it would be easier to sneak if you shot all of the stormtroopers, but you decide that that's probably not the thing. Heat. Now you have 3 negative dice. You have no help from Taz. No help whatsoever.
So I think I get 1 from trying.
Yes.
I'm going to use my awareness under Paladin.
Okay.
To see where they are.
Right. So that's 3 total dice.
Right. And I'm going to spend a stunt point to pull in Milspec Grunt since we're trying to get away from
Feels good.
the imps. I know what they're like. I know where they'll look, and I can shut off my ghost chip or at least try and dampen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to add a couple more dice into that.
Sounds good.
And
and by the way, everybody should be refreshed on stunt points. So everybody should have 3. Okay. You in court rolls.
Except for me, because I just went down to 2.
Oh, okay. That's true.
So now I'm gonna let's see. So I hit Control to select all of these dice. I think I'm rolling 5 versus 3.
Okay. You are?
And I'm gonna click re-roll.
Oh, you rolled a 6, but there's a 6 on the negative. Oh no. And the next best die you have is a 3, which is canceled out as well.
3.
Oh God. No,
so
because that 3 is canceled out. Yeah, 2. Exactly.
Yeah, so I got a 2.
Yep. Oh man. It's what we all wanted. Friends. The 2 of you are trying to sneak out. Taz, you like have some RGB death stick or something that you're trying to pass off to look like one of the arcology brats, and all of a sudden one of the troopers inside the APC that hadn't come out was just kind of watching over, shines a spotlight from the APC itself, or the troop transport, like lights both of you guys up. And then we of course see the brick wall behind you. It's like an homage to a particular X-Men cover, except there are no signs of dead mutants behind it. But it's fine. We see both of you caught for a moment.
Hey, they're over here! Over here!
So yeah, they hit you with a spotlight, Taz and Heat. I want to cut into Luna for a moment because we haven't seen what Luna's been up to. You've been handed a blaster, right?
Yeah, I've been behind the bar, kind of like warily, like watching Block deal with this. Everyone else deal with this. I think I do pick up the blaster and I just turn to Block and say, "You might want to start saying goodbye to this place."
There's no reason. I think I have the shutters, gentlemen. 1 second. And now I'm going to open the shutters. Those two are gone. I want to open up the shutters at the front door and look at the troopers. Damnedest thing, I need to hire a bouncer to keep the kids away from the controls. I don't suppose you know anybody who's looking for extra work.
And yeah, that's enough where the stormtroopers, you of course can't read their faces. They're nice and masked there, so you just hear as one of them says,
Thank you for opening it. Now, citizens, stand aside. We need to inspect the premises.
Yeah, hold on now.
Nods you out of the way,
All right.
not so gently. Luna, you've told Block, hey, this is it. An arcology kid like hops over the bar and squats down beside you, and she looks over and says, "This is amazing. This has never happened. I mean, hasn't happened? It's never happened to me."
Well, do you want it to happen to you?
Yes.
Scooch down there, point to the bar, and watch and see if we want this to happen to you again.
Cool. I've just dropped into the Zoom chat. This is the girl that's talking to you. She has these like VR goggles that she's pulled up, and they have the little pilot lights and some kind of, I don't know, like dog collar thing around her neck, and of course a Kofuku shirt on. And you just told her to head down at the end of the bar and just watch.
Yeah, like just at the end where like there's like a corner there, just like keep safe. At least in terms of where they are at the bar, I think it's really the things it's safest. I should clarify, like when they ask Buck if they're ready for this place to go, like, they're just not gonna turn on anyone. It's more like this is not gonna go. This is not gonna end well. Was what they were trying to say. I didn't want to imply that like Luna's suddenly gonna like shoot Block or something like that. I don't know why. I'm just paranoid at the moment.
They are stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So they'd probably miss. Sorry, that was a joke. Only stormtroopers are this accurate. Okay. So the stormtroopers come in, and one of them says,
"What happened to this table?"
He's checking out the table that he had ripped up and kind of laid
Yeah,
on the side.
I didn't you listen when I told you it's Kofuku night? These kids are going crazy.
All right, round them all up.
Hold on.
And the kids are like,
up.
"Yeah!
Kids, this is
My
a fun
dad's a
experience
lawyer!"
for all of you, and your parents will take care of you, I'm sure.
They're just like shaking their head at Block, being like, just let them have them. They want.
Yeah, all right. You're all in the wagon, kids.
And yeah, some of the patrons who were just tolerating Kofuku night, they're not super happy about the fact that the stormtroopers have just declared they're going to paddy wagon everyone and deal with it down at the station. But sure enough, there's a speeder, like a hover truck, that's like lowering down in, and looks like they're going to start escorting a lot of these arcology kids and any of the other patrons that you have. This is going to make business at Chip Off Cantina really light for a while, maybe a long while. What do you do, Block?
Yeah, I when they start, moving further to try and round folks up, I want to go to my slicing console, and I want to trigger a false alarm elsewhere. I want to try and get them called elsewhere.
Nice.
Yeah,
that is clever. Sweet. So we'll get to that role in just a minute. I think there's a moment, Luna, with the girl that's behind the bar with you, where she says, I'm not from an arcology. I will never get out. Please don't let them catch me.
I think Luna is just kind of sucks her teeth in, because this is looks around the bar and kind of like, is there like a freezer or like
Sure. There's like a meat locker of some kind.
Yeah, like a locker enough where maybe the girl can squeeze in. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, Miss Nobody, whoever you are, try and squeeze in here, and don't make a sound. It's gonna be carking cold. But if you want to get caught, you're gonna gut it out.
And she says, "It's airy. Thanks." And she leans in and just does this quick like peck on your cheek and then ducks into the cooler. And we will cut back outside the court when you have moved a bunch. The youngest, could be the most trouble for the cantina folks. They're all across the street and they're taking pictures of everything and super excited. One of them says, "I think I'm just going to go home now. This was good. And the other kid's like, no, let's see it all out. Stormtroopers. What are you doing?
I'm like, oh, stormtroopers. I'm trying to get them real excited so that they draw that attention and cover essentially backup block story about all the trouble. For the most part, they are arcology brats, and the underage ones are outside of the cantina, so that's cool. If there are any who aren't arcology brats who are looking scared, she will lead them away, though, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. There's one kid that you could tell their stuff's knockoff, and you can get the vibe that they don't feel nearly as self-confident or not at all worried about the world. Yeah, and they're definitely going to need a bit of help. So yeah, you do that, and that's when you see the spotlight shine right on Taz and Heat as you're about to lead. We'll give this individual a name. We're going to call them. Eternity is the name they've given themselves.
All right, that's an awesome name.
I can't spell the word arcology. Sweet. So we zip back to Taz and Heat as boom, there's one of those huge floodlight type things on the top of this troop transport. It shines right on the two of you, enough to blind you for a second, but you're both combat ready. It's no big deal, but just that moment. We have some lens flare, little J.J. Abrams homage there. What do you do?
So I think Heat takes off for his swoop bike that's parked there around the corner, and heads to it to jump on and head off. Before we were kind of sneaking trying to get to it. Now we're just all out rushing it.
Are you pulling Taz along? Because Taz probably wants to stay and fight, but if you're pulling on her, she might go with you.
Okay, then yes, absolutely. I think it's
okay.
I realize as I get within arm's length away that you're not coming, and I grab your arm and pull you along.
It's in the spotlight.
I know you don't have a bike. Yeah.
Nice.
I love that, because then we're going to get chased on the swoop bike.
Yeah, they're totally going to chase you. So I think we're going to work this up to a nice roll. Right as the truce transport's going, and they're going to be taking off after you guys are running down the rain-slick streets. Oh, what do we determine what section of the city you're in, city location? Are you in Port Quarter or Neon Quarter? Where do you think Chip-Off Cantina is, Block? Somewhere in the shadows of Metroplex 13.
I think we did establish that it was in Metroplex 13 area.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that
slipped my mind. So yeah, thank you.
I mean, we might not have established that. I think that's just what seems right.
Awesome. So let's build this roll. There are Imperial troops who have your identifications. They're in a speeder. Yeah, 3 dice.
Do you want me to try to help you, Taz, since I rolled last time, or do you want me to roll this?
Well, who's driving? Is Taz the the driver on the swoop bike, or?
Well, I figure, yeah, that doesn't make sense because if I'm not mistaken, we established that your bike, the swoop bike, was taken by the Razor Girls. Yours was.
Right.
And this is my speeder bike, so it looks very functional, but not slick or sleek or anything like that.
And
So I
honestly,
think
you
I'm
might be the
driving.
better driver. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll do
I'm
that.
probably on the back with my big gun, firing back at them.
Oh,
Perfect.
that sounds awesome. You got a big chase, speeder bike, and you guys firing. Oh, this is delicious. I love this. I love this. So I declared 3.
3. Okay. So I guess I will roll to. I'll roll to. I mean, is it just the one stormtrooper?
No.
Carrier?
No, like
Oh,
a
no.
few
At this point,
stormtroopers
it's
will come
bad.
on. This is like stormtroopers on a troop transport. So we'll say that there's like 5 of them. They're going to be firing at you. They're going to start to
Okay.
bring the big gun online. That will be if you don't escape, and it will up the number of negative dice. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you want to get out of here fast.
So I'm mostly doing. I'll do BFG, cover an area, for 3 to rolling to assist heat. So I'm trying to like minimize their options on how they can get to us by making certain paths not a good idea for them. I'm kind of firing wildly into the streets. So I think that's 3 versus 3.
That sounds right to me.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, you don't roll negative if you're helping.
I don't roll negative.
It's okay.
Helping.
Well,
You're
you could if you wanted
excited
to
to roll
make a
those
completely
pickups.
separate roll. If you wanted to do a separate roll to see about
That's
taking
true.
them out rather than helping,
That's true.
it's whatever you want to do.
Okay, so if I'm I'll just roll to help. So
Okay.
I want to evade them first. If we can't evade them, then yeah, we're taking them out.
Then you open up. Let's rock.
Ooh, 1 partial success. Just a 4.
Okay, a 4 partial
Okay.
success means that you'll get a boon. You get 1 die heat.
Okay. So I'm going to use. So I get a boon. So that's 1 die, and I get 1 for trying.
Mhm.
I'm going to do wired, and reaction speed.
Totally. 4.
So I think it's 4 versus 3.
Yeah.
I think is what I'll roll. And so let me re-roll selected. Okay.
The key's terrible.
Yeah. The only thing I could do is spend a stunt point to increase the 3 to a 4, but the 4 would get canceled out. So I don't think it
Oh
works. Yeah.
God. That is yeah. Nice. Let's see. Is there anything else you can do with stunt point? Can you reduce one of a die roll? So no, that's not going to help you either. I mean,
No, it's fine. It's fine to get caught.
yeah, no, it's good. You guys fail. All right, awesome. So I think that the speeder gets blown out from underneath both of you. You will both take a hit.
Oof.
As they like target the engines on the speeder, and it explodes behind you and goes in this weird tailspin and then skips along the Duracrete street for a bit, slams into one of the street lights above. Both of you take a hit of damage, and then the troop transport is on you guys. Stormtroopers are piling out. They're grabbing binders, and they're gonna capture you, but you get a reaction.
And I think some of the girls, some of the fans of Kufo, basically, a couple of them scream at the explosion, and a couple of them like cheer at the explosion.
Yeah, of course. That's amazing. They totally should cheer. And there's of course pictures and everything because you guys got like a block away. So Court, you're able to vamoose easy enough if that's what you want to do, or you can get them onto Yin Corp, gig drivers to get out of here.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I can get people on the gig drivers, but can I pick up how should we say a car? Just to see if I have a chance of intervening at any moment.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't mind doing one of those hop in moment.
Oh, that sounds fun. Sweet. That is a possibility.
Okay.
Cool. So, yeah, I guess you have to hotwire a speeder. I mean,
Oh, that sounds like
amazing.
fun. Yeah, let's do it. I got a machine interface.
You do. So let's see you do it.
Okay. All right. So let's see here.
This is Metroplex 13, so I'm sorry, but I think it's Viper armed. Therefore, you've got 2 negative dice coming your way.
Oh, you are so unkind. Well, I've got drive. I've got 1. Then I got my drive and machine interface. And let's see here. And then so I've got 2 versus 3.
Rev head. Wait. 1 for doing it. Rev head, drive, your interface. That's 4.
Ooh, 4. Ooh, I'm amazing. And then versus 2. Okay, I'm just going to roll these. If I have to, I will. They're cursed dice. So
Yep, they are. You keep rolling those bad dice. At some point, they have to shake out and roll better
Exactly.
than 3. Oh, no!
Oh, that's easy though. Stunt, turn it to 6.
Oh, good call. Good call. Turn to 6, full success. Perfect. Wow, I saw those 2 5s and the negatives. Woo, exciting, sweet. So yeah, you Viper armed. Have a good day as you override it. Sweet until you're in a speeder headed that way. We're going to cut back into the bar as we see Block. Their troopers are starting to round people up here, but I think there was a plan to do a reroute there, Block. So
yeah. I want to slice in. I want to digitally disrupt their communications and insinuate or send up an alert that there is a rebel attack in the corp quarter. I think is my plan.
Like hacking away.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So Block kind of walks over to his little station where they're not paying attention. He grabs his portable console and he starts hacking away, trying to set up an alarm. What's that role gonna look like, Rich?
Yeah, I think these guys it's Imperial, so I think that's one that you've got to deal with. They've been alerted to trouble here, so they have a wary eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they're super good at slicing, so I think this is just 2 negative.
2. Okay. And I'm attempting it. I have my digital disruption, my edge. So my jammer digital disruption. It's 1 for edge, not 1 for trademark, then 1 for edge, right?
It's 1 for trademark, then 1 for edge.
Oh, okay. So there's 3. And then my concealed portable data pad. Does that help me out?
Yeah.
All right. So 4 positive, 3 negative dice. Let me move all these. I'm using these blue ones here on the right side of the screen. I'm not sure if you guys see them as I do. And
I don't see them terribly well, but I can actually move over there. Oh, I see them now. Sorry, for some reason I decided to declare some of them as my own dice, which is dumb.
I think that's I think it just pulled them across the screen on me. That's all right. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so 4 and 2 rolling selected dice.
All right, that looks good. That's a 6.
Yeah. So my goal is to, alert them to a rebel attack. There is a rebel cell operating, bigger than 2-bit warrants. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is.
We hear that explosion outside.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, I've got there's an explosion, and yeah, that's awesome. So here's the thing, Block. The question that I have.
Yeah.
Remember there were some folks in our last session who you warned like on the boards and they were talking some rebel stuff and you can loop, like you can point some stuff their way or you can make a whole brand new threat, which may create new eyes looking like if they already know this, oh, this is that rebel cell we know about doing stuff, or you create a new threat which saves those guys from getting in trouble, but that new threat means other eyes will like, oh, they're 2 rebel cells.
Yeah, no, I think he Block wants to create this illusory cell the more the more threat the Empire perceives there to be, the
So
less
you're good with
control
this.
they have.
You're okay.
Yeah,
You're okay
absolutely.
with this. All right.
Yeah, they might have more eyes, but that just they only have a certain number of eyes. It'll limit where they can keep looking. It's
Nice.
chaos, and it'll destabilize their control on Serenno. So that's Block's end goal, anyways.
Okay, cool. So that happens. You tap away. There's a couple of confirmations. You see that the traces are going out. There are already some TIE fighters that are screaming that way. And then the stormtrooper who was in here had the orange shoulder pad deal going on, had the other stormtroopers rounding people up, checking idents as the truck is readied. He kind of pops up, and you don't hear any external communication, but it looks like he's talking to somebody. And then he goes to broadcast.
All right. That's it. We're out of here. Listen. Make sure this place stays on the up and up. Some of these kids look young.
Oh, of course, officer. I have no interest in.
We're here to keep the peace.
You got it, officer. Trooper.
Pokes your shoulder, pokes you in the shoulder a couple times, like, I don't finish sentences because you know what I'm gonna say, type deal. And
yeah,
then...
Block holds up his hands, and he has his robot arm, and I think he kind of like pushes the trooper's hand off of his shoulder, maybe a little roughly, but he's just like, you got it. He's Block is happy to play the stooge until the trooper starts poking him. Then he gets a little aggro.
Oh, it gets a little testy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Watch it, old man. All right. Circle up. Let's go.
He does this cool, like, yeah, I'm cool. I just like circle my hand around. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
And all the troopers start to file out. They actually quickly move out. And yeah, Luna, looks like you're not going to get arrested. These troopers are leaving. You're not sure why. What do you do, Luna?
Yeah, I'm about to fire off a pithy remark about how Block's like a cockroach, except I forgot like what the Star Wars equivalent of a cockroach would be, surviving nuclear blast. But then I think Luna remembers like, oh yeah, I stuffed the girl in a fridge. Let's check in on her.
Like open it up. She's in here like this. Like, is everything okay?
Like I hold out a hand to pull her out, and when she's kind of out, I start like preparing like a hot drink, and she's like, "Kid, you better scram soon. Whoever you're trying to avoid is probably missing you right now."
Nice. And she'll just she stays hunkered down and just hovers, and the steam wafts up over her nose. She just drinks it very slowly, and we will cut away from that back to our crazy action sequence. So let me quick check in. Taz, Heat, and Court. We're about our midpoint. Do we want to take our mid-game break and then jump straight into this, or do you guys want to do this?
I'm fine.
I'm okay. Keep going.
Okay, cool. So anybody, Block Luna, if you want to step away, totally understand. Otherwise, we'll take a break when this scene ends, and let's. So Taz, Heat, the two of you are laying on your sides in the middle of the rain on a street. There are floodlights on you. A troop transport pulls up. You think you hear the of a speeder up ahead or from far behind. You're not sure. There are arcology kids like a block away who are shooting all of this live. They're live streaming the most amazing thing they've seen this week. Taz, what do you do when stormtroopers start piling out of this troop transport and coming for you?
I'm gonna roll for a piece of gear here. Notably the force field projector. I'll reroll this pip one here, this green pip one. It's just 2. Oh, okay. Never know when I've selected one.
Oh,
dang it.
Man. That's Clone War era tech that somebody
I'll
bought
burn
it
my
off
next
somebody.
roll to get it. I'll burn my second roll to get it. So
Oh,
that's,
nice.
Yeah. So it's throwable and blaster absorbent. I'm gonna throw it to like put a barrier between us and the stormtroopers that they can't get through.
Hot.
And then like halfway crawl my way over to heat.
Nice. And I'm imagining, just so we're on the same page, this is like the droidica shield
Exactly.
that they
That, like,
pop up.
whoa. Yeah.
So like it's Clone War era tech, and there's a moment where it like flicks and you think it's not gonna work, but then boom, it pops up around you guys. Heat, the signal from the ghost chip is like dead in this force shield. It feels like someone just took a weight off of your shoulders, just like lifted it.
I think I kind of shake my head. It's weird not to have that noise in the back, in the background. And so I think that we've got a bunch of troopers coming after us. I'm gonna look around and see where our best avenue of escape is, because Taz might be able to take on all these troopers, but I don't think I'm going to.
Nice.
So
you glance around, you think you see an alley for a moment. There might be like a clothier shop that you could like run through, but then you see this speeder coming your way, and you recognize Court. That is no roll. That's your best escape.
Yeah, so I think that so I think the best thing to do would be to, make sure that these troopers can't. I'm going to take advantage of their training, basically. They know that they won't be able to just come up on us if there's some kind of covering fire. So I'm going to lay down some covering fire so it looks, to kind of clear the way for the speeder to come in and keep the troopers under cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So the droidica, that force shield, if I remember, the droidica could like shoot through it. Or
yes, yeah, you can like, it's usually like a one-way barrier, kind of conveniently. But it only like if it gets shot a lot, it like little holes show up like the Gungan shields and they fall apart. Yeah.
Yep. That's cool. So it only lasts for so long, but it's pretty hot. So Heat, you want to try to make things easier for Court to come in here and scoop you guys out?
Yeah, I think so. Awesome. So I think I'm going to lay down some covering fire. So I get one for trying it. And I think I'm going to use what sounds good. Probably wired and reaction speed just to get there before the grunts get on us, right? Before they come into the open area. I think Taz has popped out this force field to provide us some cover. And I'm going to start laying down covering fire so that they have to get, they know this is going to be a long slog. Yeah.
Cool. I
think
they're pointed right at you. And I think things are pretty desperate for them firing upon you. And there's a lot of them. So 3 negatives your way.
Okay.
Right, because you're doing it as a separate role. You weren't
yes.
trying to help. Okay.
So Court will have a roll to get in. Is that right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I think I'll do this as a helping roll because I'm not really. Okay. My intention is not to hurt
not
them.
To take them down as much as just open it up for Court. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the negatives.
Okay. So let me roll that. Got a 6.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 6 gives you an extra die, Court.
So I'm driving in. I do want to make a gear roll, though.
Okay.
Essentially, what I want is a set of skates that are like lift skates. If that makes any sense. Just so if I need a friction-free, sidecar kind of thing that I got.
Nice.
So essentially, it's essentially heavy duty, so they can handle high speed, even if I'm being dragged along, and probably no lights, because at this point she's got sort of zero illumination on herself. She's like toned down all of her stuff, so she's hard to pick up on the vids. So I'm going to roll this die right here, the 4. It is currently, I get a 1. I'll roll another gear dice.
Man, you used
And
up
I
one
get
of
a
your
6.
4. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Awesome.
All right. All right.
Used up a gear for this mission, but got what you wanted on the second gear. So that's
Yeah. So essentially, this is so I could get 3 people using this the speeder, because I'll be steering, driving, but I'm actually going to be standing beside it, and I can load the 2 of them on it until I hand it off to them, if that makes any sense.
crazy.
All
But
right.
I like it.
Okay. So this is drive. So rev head and machine interface driving. So that's 3. And to try, that's another 1. And how many negatives? And then I have 1
3.
from
3
okay.
negatory.
Okay, so I've got 5 dice and they've got 3, is what I'm hearing.
Yep. That's
All
what
right.
I'm saying.
Okay, let's see what we do. Oh, here we go. Every once in a while, one of these deselects. Okay, I think I got them all. Ooh, I got a 5 as my highest.
Oof. 5 is highest. That sounds
Yeah, and I can't
amazing.
move it up because I got a 6. It'll cancel it.
Oh, this is fascinating. I'm really
Yeah.
digging these. Now that we know what the heck we're doing, seeing these mechanics play around with stunt dice is pretty fun. 4 or 5 is a partial success. So here's the choice I give you, Court. Either you can take a condition, or everybody can take a hit as you race in to scoop up Heat and Taz getting the heck out of Dodge.
Ooh, that's interesting. Up to now, everything has gone super well for her. So I think her taking condition is actually really cool, because this is the first time that mortality actually occurs to her. If that makes sense.
You could have died doing this. You like scoop in, throw some rocket skates. Taz, you've got the shield up. You could mow these troopers down right now, but Heat and Court want to did him out. What do you do?
I think Taz wants to shoot one of the stormtroopers just because, like, we have to, but instead of like laying down fire across the whole thing, I think she's
You
gonna
just take
like,
out the first one.
yeah, just try, the one that's closest. Just getting close, and
So he fires on the troop transport to kind of scare them off, right? And then Court comes swooping in, and then one guy comes out. He's like that one guy. It's like, I'm the first to go. He's the Marine, and then he just
he's got the stun stick.
Yeah, he's got the stun stick. He looks mean. He's like the from Jedi Fallen Order, the one that talks all the trash, and you just blast him away. And Court, you come in, you see the stormtrooper get like nailed, just blasted to nothingness, poodoo. And then that gives you, what is the condition that you end up with?
Scared, I think, like for the first time. Like this is
First time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Heat, what does it look like when you hop into this speeder that Court has absconded with?
So I think that Heat kind of barrel rolls into the speeder and starts trying to lay down covering fire, but is obviously not hitting anyone, but hitting boxes and walls and that kind of stuff around where they are. And he sees one of the troopers go down from Taz and kind of looks over for a second and then comes back and just starts trying to lay down more covering fire. Yeah.
Nice. And then Taz, after you take out that one stormtrooper and you see Heat is retreating and hops into the speeder, what do you do?
Taz like jumps in the back, and like with all of her equipment, it kind of weighs the whole thing down. And so she's like, punch it, kid. And like the little sparks fly up from the back of the speeder as the bottom scrapes and as it gets back up to a height.
Nice. And so, yeah, Court, you're in this low riding speeder zipping away from the troop transport, and eventually the shield thing that Taz dropped has been fired on enough to where it dissipates. And as you guys are zipping along the streets, like streetlights passing by in the rain, we see that maybe Court's a little bit afraid, and then the camera kind of pulls back and up on one of the buildings, just watching you guys as you take off, is none other than Craven, the leader of the Vulture gang. He's watching this whole thing take place. So we will take our mid-game break here. Pausing. Let's pick back up. Where is it that you guys reconnoiter after all the trouble that happens? Let's say not Chip Off Cantina, somewhere new, somewhere different.
Yeah.
How about our warehouse?
Oh yeah, your totally dope warehouse. Sounds good. So a lot of you meet up again. We pick up at the warehouse, and I'm curious, Luna. Do you just travel over with Block, or do you come in later than the others? Where do we see you at the warehouse?
Yeah, I think I probably did. Oh, I sent the kid off. I'm sure she can take care of herself, right? I probably did ask, yeah, if she's gonna be okay. Because it sounded like she was worried.
She was worried, but with the stormtroopers having left, she seems like she's all right. But she says, if I get in any trouble, can I like reach out to you?
Come by the cantina. I'm more often than not there for who knows why. Are you thinking of getting into trouble?
Not thinking about it. I just wanted to have some
It just
fun.
happens.
But yeah,
just so happens that when you have fun, you get into trouble.
Well, we could have fun, and you could make sure that I don't get in trouble.
How's that fun for me?
I'm fun.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. And then gonna make an off you pop. Make
Nice
gesture. Then
cool.
They'll head through the warehouse. I think they're kind of like they found the chair they were in the last time and decided to like, all right, I'm just gonna y'all talk about your nonsense. I'm listening. I'm totally listening. Lying back then again. Oh, there's legs paining me. So I'm just gonna lounge here. Yeah, y'all can keep talking.
Nice. Yeah, Block, Court, Taz, and Heat all arrive in Court. Do you keep the stolen speeder, or do you release it somewhere? Do you guys travel by foot?
I release it at a certain point that's far enough away from the warehouse that would be associated with it. I just program in a thing for it to slowly return itself back to where it was.
Nice.
So
sweet.
Because if you don't inconvenience someone too much with your theft, they might not report it. So.
Perhaps. Cool. So you guys head in, and yeah, Taz, you know that you've got a few hours before you're supposed to hook up with the Razor Girls. As you arrive at this warehouse with Heat and Court, you guys kind of walk in as Court sent the speeder off.
Well, that made for an interesting evening.
Yeah. You like shot that guy.
You would have shot us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that explosion you lot?
And I think Heat answers by walking over to the med cabinet that we have and starting to bandage, some of the hits that they've taken. And after he gets through taking care of himself, he walks over to Taz and starts bandaging her.
Awfully interesting that they decided to serve your warrants tonight.
Yeah. I think there might
Any
be
idea?
well, normally I would say it was the Razor Girls, but as he can attest, I had a visitor back in the alleyway. Does Block know Sable? I'm guessing Sable's been around a while. Block's been around a while.
I think Block knows most
Yeah.
folks. So yeah, I think you know who Sable is.
Okay.
Sable is called in a debt.
Your debt, I take it.
One of my many. They're facing off against the sick boys.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah. Well, that's the sick boys for you. But they've asked me for backup. I'm not entirely sure they're not hanging me out to dry.
Wait. Hold up. Razor Girl's calling your debt, and then minutes later, we got imps on our front door, and that's supposed to be a coincidence?
I think it wouldn't have been a coincidence if they were only after Taz, but the Razor Girls have nothing on me. So that we both happened at the same time seems like something different.
Unless it wasn't the. I mean, I don't think it's the Razor Girls who sent the imps our way. There could be a third party who knew that you guys were at the Chip Off Cantina. I mean, you always are.
Well,
Beautiful.
did you make any enemies when you were together? When we did the bunny thing or the... I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, Taz had an interesting run-in with some of the sick boys, but you know them, they wouldn't call it the imps on us, they just come after us themselves.
But Taz, you said that your Razor Girl contact said that they were going to hit the sick boys?
She said there's going to be a fight. She needs my gun. You know the Razor Girls.
Yeah. And it's not bad that they're calling in your debt just for you to use the gun. I mean, there's worse things they could have you do. I'm curious now that maybe, since it's a little quieter, maybe I can see if there was anything behind the imps hitting the bar tonight. Maybe they got tipped. Maybe it was routine. Maybe they just knew. We haven't been the best at laying low. I know that I myself am a pretty easy guy to find. Perhaps we got complacent and our number got drawn. But maybe there was a tip off. I can look into that. Taz, when do you need to do this job with the Razor Girls?
Not long from now.
Okay, so that doesn't really give us much time. You think they might lay you out to dry?
They might. I don't want to go alone. And she'll look at Luna and she'll look at Heat.
I guess I have this debt on my back I want to get rid of. It's kind of like makes a...
True, I did say...
Yeah,
I did say Luna's life.
You were shouting, constantly last time. Luna's gonna make a show of like standing up and just kind of rolling their eyes, like, fine.
Block's gonna look over at Court. Well, I guess she's not interested in us. No good with blasters.
I'm okay with that. I am very bad with blasters.
Maybe we can find something else for us to do. Taz, what do you know about what they're gonna do? What can we do for you?
What do I know about what they're going to do? I'm guessing my plan. I'm guessing they're gonna have a confrontation, and I'm supposed to be like an ambush. I'm guessing that's probably their plan. I think that's about as complex as the Razor Girls ever get, which is, one level of complexity above the sick boys, but not much. So yeah,
it's a rumble. They're gonna
it's a rumble
and dance in, and then no. It's totally
Almost
that
that story twice. Anyways, so I think, yeah, I'm the surprise to their rumble. But maybe we can. I don't want the sick boys moving in, but oh man, maybe we can. We always seem to drag some third party in. Who else do we know doesn't like the sick boys?
Taz, is this your
Nobody
plan for
likes the sick
everything?
boys.
It's a pincher attack, Luna.
I don't know. It just seems like we're casting nets and we don't know exactly what we're fishing for.
It's not a bad point, Luna.
So we just do this one alone?
I mean, I'm not planning on staying here for long, so it's no skin off my bone if you start off multiple gang wars to quench a gang, to snuff out a gang war.
Here's another angle. I think we know that pretty much all the sick boys leadership, pretty much all the Razor Girl leadership will be there. Might be an opportunity.
Opportunity.
Move some freight, do some damage.
God, this is why I move around.
What if
it's too much politics?
Do you know why they're rumbling? What the deal is?
Something over territory. Sick boys want to move in and take over the metroplex.
You know, it's too bad you gangs can't get it through your heads that the only territory worth having the imps take from us.
Hey, Block, I'm not a member of the Razor Girls anymore.
Right. My apologies. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in a third party to maybe just stir stuff up. But what I'd rather see is a little bit less bloodshed between good citizens of Serenno and a little bit more taken from those Imperials. Those troopers knocking down our door, I didn't like that. Sure, they might say they have warrants, they might have the law, but I'm not a fan of that. I don't respect their law. This is Serenno, this is our law. And I'd rather we didn't spend all this time killing each other while Zsinj goes knocking in doors and trying to pick up folks like yourselves. So if we can get this job done relatively bloodlessly, I'd be in favor of that. And I don't know if bringing in a third gang into the rumble is the way to do it, but this is your debt, Taz. So you call it.
I think Heat speaks up after Block says something and says, "Are you suggesting that the gang should go after the imps? That's not a good idea."
Why not? Why isn't it a good idea?
They have the Imperial reach is long and far. You're best off hiding from them and not getting under their thumb to begin with.
Yeah, but then
they could reach down here and snuff out not just the gangs but the whole populace.
I'm beginning to think that the Imperial reach isn't going to be as long as we think it is for much longer. And there might come a time when the good sons and daughters of Serenno need to have people on their side to make sure that's the case. I'm not saying they take them on today or tomorrow or next week or next cycle. I think we just can't, they just got to be around for when that time does come. So if Taz needs to show up and knock a few Razor Girls or sick boys' heads in, cool, great. But if these two gangs need to wipe themselves completely out, that could be a problem in the long run. I'm just thinking bigger picture here, Heat. I know you have no love for the Imperials. I know you don't mean anything by it, but somebody's got to do something.
So you have to go and fight. You want some backup. Heat and Luna are going to help you. Is there something that you would like me to do? Because I left this kid at a diner and they're really far away from where they live. But if I know what I got to do, I can go get them and be back in time to help you out.
Hmm. I think I'm interested in exploring, like, while the rumble happens, maybe we do something to the sick boys or the razor girls. I don't really care which, to sort of dig into them a little bit, and make some money, right? We're trying to keep afloat here. Maybe something like we could, or try and like erase Taz from the roles of the razor girls or something.
And your death?
Fake my death. Ooh, that I like.
All right. I'll get an ambulance.
I love this.
This is a good idea. This is a very good idea.
That's dope.
Luna, I'm gonna need you to shoot me.
Records.
Well, I don't need to ask.
You ready for this, Luna? Taz saved your life. You need to take hers.
Amazing. If only transactions could be that easy.
This is a great idea. I'm all in favor of it. But what else is happening out there? We can, in whatever scuffle that occurs, Court's gonna get an ambulance. I can adjust the records, in the city morgues when your body gets dropped. But I mean, the Razor Girls are gonna come sniffing around the cantina eventually. You can't be sitting there the way you are, Taz.
Yeah, this might be a tad drastic, what you're proposing here.
I think we need like a cyberpunk plastic surgeon.
That sounds great. Who do we know? And then who do we know that we don't want to go to? So
Oh yeah. So it turns out that the block doc works for the White Rabbits. The block doc's your best bet.
What's that species again? The Leppy?
Oh, the leader of the White Rabbits is
Yeah.
Leppy, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
You burn some bridges with the White Rabbits?
Listen, I think it's going to take a lot of credits, but maybe I can maybe we can change my appearance enough that it'll throw off both the Razor Girls and the Imperials.
That'd be cool.
Better be worth it.
That's a start.
Luna, that's credits you could be using to get off world.
That's what they're turning into a terrible shade of magenta right now, and not because they can do that. This is just what's happening.
And Court has like all these pictures up of different Twi'lek and stuff. So where are you thinking of going here with this? I mean, I like this one. Except you have to keep your eyes, I think.
She's going to go for like the one cybernetic Leiku.
Ooh.
Wow, that is intense. That is some stuff right there. Okay, so it sounds like you have a plan to get Taz involved in the fight against the sick boys, but to death Taz, and then get deathed. And then Taz is going to go to the block dock and get a new face. Yeah, that's gonna be.
That sounds like what we're planning. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, good point. All of this to get out of a debt that if Taz just does the fight, we'll get out of the debt. But maybe they won't.
No, I don't think
they
that's
said
enough.
you're out. I don't
Like,
think
that's
they
like-
said you're out.
That's Taz's like overall drive is to pay off the debt, and I don't think any one job would ever be enough. Yeah.
I will tell you, if you go and fight alongside the Razor Girls, Taz, that'll get you 3 checks on that drive track. If you just do it legit like they ask.
How many checks?
This is
if
so
you
much more
fake-
fun.
If you fake your death and change your face, how many ticks to the drive?
I think what happens is your drive changes, right?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
So would the drive change? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, the drive would change, and flaws would need to be updated.
Yep.
To something else, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And based on based on how that new face happens could give you a different flaw, or if there could just be a flaw that didn't affect you before that does now. We'll see. Sweet. How do you guys want to? So it sounds like to me the fight like that is just going to happen. We're not going to go through a like grid draw and all that crap. It just happens. But probably want to contact the block dock to arrange that maybe ahead of time. Because seeing as how the White Rabbits probably don't love you guys, especially if they know that the sick boys were sent after them because of you. You don't know for sure, but yeah. And Heat nearly killed Bloody Alice, and Bloody Alice nearly killed Luda. So there's some not great blood, and the block dock works for the White Rabbits. So we're clear.
I think Block wasn't implicated in any of this. Maybe
I don't
Block
think so.
can bring Taz to the block dock. We get along so well. And
I didn't even realize that. I'm so sorry. Like
that's all right.
Okay.
And I think maybe as for how we're paying for it, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure Block could find something. Maybe the ping security secrets that Block took last time could be fair trade to go a little bit behind the White Rabbits' backs.
Oh, nice. So you're gonna try to reach out to the block dock on the down low, offer up the stuff that pay data you had. That is hot. That is really cool. Before we get too far, Heat was trying to first aid up some people. You notice that Court is a little scared. So in downtime, you can try to fix that. So how do you want to go about that, Heat?
So I think that, like I said before, thanks for looping back to that, by the way.
No problem.
I think before, he took care of himself first and then went over to take care of Taz, and then went over to Court to make sure that she was okay. And I don't see any wounds, but she seems to, I've seen this rabbity look in the eyes of soldiers before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is a different kind of bandage. And I'm like, you doing okay, Court?
And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Doing fine. And you can see she's doing like the check around the room a little bit more. And she's definitely standing by the door, which she never really used to do. Yeah. So, and she's just very antsy. She's like, that got pretty hairy though, didn't it? I mean, that's like one of the worst you've seen, right?
Well, I can say that you probably don't deserve to be in such hairy situations like that. And I think that getting some experiences like that is good to let you know where your line is and know, what you can do and what you can't. And now you know kind of where things are and what level of danger you want to be in. So you can go forward making decisions based off of that.
Okay.
So I just rechecked the rules. Here's how traumas can be healed. Listen up for Luna as well. You can cross out a drive box to make a recovery roll, which represents wasted time while you lay low and recuperate. So you'll roll a d6 for each trauma in any order. If you have any edges that can improve your chance of recovery, you add a +1 to the roll. A result of 4+ removes the trauma. You can make 1 attempt per trauma for each drive box that you cross out. So the way this game works to cross out means that, I don't feel as complete, but it basically, that when you cross the drive out, you can't fulfill it. I'm going to hack in that like you can't fulfill the drive unless you do something to address that, because the way the game's written, it doesn't say, and I don't understand that. So we'll just say, yeah, you want to cross out one of your drives, you can try to restore trauma. Otherwise, you're
The way you just described that, Rich, to me, didn't mean you cross off one of your boxes. It meant you uncheck a box that you've already checked, meaning that it took time. Is that right? Or is it that you can't succeed in your drive?
Yeah, that's the part that's really weird.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the way that the rules are written, you check your boxes, and when you get all 10, you're good. But the DM can introduce complications, or you can really hose something, or try to recover trauma, and you're supposed to X out that box, meaning you can't fill it out. But it's unclear, like, does that mean you never can? So I'd like to kind of hack in that once that's X'd out, you have to directly address it, or you'll never fulfill your drive. It's like that niggling thing. Like Lancelot in Excalibur. It's the old wound. Sorry. Just thinking about Excalibur this past week.
Yeah. I don't think Luna's going to cross off a drive box right now. They're
Okay.
too stubborn to let go of that, so they're going to live with this.
But conditions
ache
can be
in their-
healed with downtime. I just realized the thing about trauma, and I wanted to mention that.
Okay.
So yeah,
I just think they got fictionally like, yeah, they're going to hold on to this ache because they're this kind of like.
I mean, it
this is
seems
what I need to get
appropriate.
out. Yeah.
That trauma seems appropriate for Luna. So
I mean, I'm gonna have to live with that with a bunch of negative die every time I roll. It involves this leg, but yeah, I think that's true to the character.
Sweet. All right. So you're reaching out Block to the Block Doc. You guys, maybe you're from the same family. I don't know. Your surnames are first. You're Block Barkeep, and he's Block Doc.
Yeah. So I think my headphones just died. Actually, can somebody talk real fast?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay.
I think they're just letting me know that they're getting down. So I'm gonna change my sound to the speakers. Sorry.
No problems.
There we go. Okay.
I just had a chihuahua come in and say, "You must play with me," and I'm running away. So.
Definitely. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to reach out to the Block Doc, and I'm going to try and get him to come to a neutral place, maybe the warehouse, to do the job at the warehouse rather than in his setup. So I think the plan is to have him kind of like set up at the warehouse and ready to go for when they bring Taz back. Yeah.
Sweet. So let's do this as a roll. First of all, just for imagery, and I may go Google for the, unless somebody else wants to do. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Escape from LA, the sequel to Escape from New York, where Bruce Campbell played a plastic surgeon who very obviously had worked on himself way too much. And that's who I imagine the Block Doc looks like. Mostly because if I can ever stunt cast Bruce Campbell into a game of mine, it's going to happen. No apologies.
Definitely. Yeah. He looks just like that. The perfect thin, perfect. The thin, like precise eyebrows and the cheekbones and everything. Yeah. Yeah. So the block reaches out to the block doc, lets him know, hey, I have some work that needs done. Like I said, Block wasn't involved in the confrontation, so he has no reason to be trying to like sway him as necessarily. It's just like it's a pretty particular job,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to come to this address. I need you to set up shop. It's in preparation. I think something bad is my friend's about to be in this pretty precarious situation. I think they're gonna need some help pretty quick if things go south. I don't want to give him too many details of the plan until.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes then.
Definitely.
So let's put it to a roll. And I think you've got a couple dice against you, a couple negatives in that.
Okay.
While you weren't directly involved, you've got associates who are associated with you who Bloody Alice has put the word out on. They're on the no list. So that's one die. And the other one is you're asking him to leave his sanctum sanctorum. That's dangerous. So that's the second.
Okay. So to build my pool, I'm trying it. I think does the offer of a pretty juicy payout help at all in this? Is that like?
Yes, I definitely will give you a die for that. For
Okay.
sure. You're giving up that pay data and that is worthwhile.
Okay. So I'll just do the two versus two.
Ooh. All right. Bold.
And maybe I'll blast some stunt points here in a second.
Maybe you will. We'll see.
All right. We'll see. Oh. Yep, that's the lowest. So I got a 2 and a 3. A 3 cancels out. How many stunt dice can I use to boost that?
I mean,
3?
you want to burn it. Here's my suggestion. You burn 1 to take that positive 3 to a 4. It's not canceled out, and you get a mixed success.
Okay. And 4 is enough for a mixed success. Then yes, that is what I do.
Because you'd have to have a 6 to have an unmixed. Which do you really want to burn 3 stunt points? I mean, it's up to you.
No, I think no, I don't. I mean, I do kind of. Because then I
do it, man. If you want to, you can. I'm not going to stop you.
Then I'm doing it. I'm boosting it to a 6.
Wow, you really care about this.
He is on board to get paid and do some quick work. It should be easy for him. Yeah. Yes, that is what I do.
This is extremely out of my normal operating procedures, but I do like you, and you do happen to have an excellent name, Block.
Of course, Block Doc, and I respect your work, and I've seen it on many of the sick boys running about. And I think when I think someone needs some augmentation, you're the guy to do it.
Delightful. Well, I need lots and lots of pink cola. Diet, please. Trying to watch my figure.
Oh, you shouldn't be drinking that poodoo, but yeah, I'll get you a nice batch ready to work for you.
Excellent. This will be one of my many masterpieces.
Awesome. Perfect.
Sweet. So you've lined up Block Doc to do some work. He'll be taking a consultation from Court, because if I remember correctly, Court wanted to work on the cheekbones, right? Very important.
It really completely transforms the face. It's the best thing to.
I'm just writing that down. Okay. So Luna, what's your part to play in the Razor Girl death of Taz? Like, you're gonna kill Taz.
Yeah. Gosh. I think
I have an idea.
oh gosh. Go on.
Well, I don't know how much they'll recognize but you are a bounty hunter.
Ooh.
I am a wanted individual.
Yeah. It was kind of dubbed into my idea. Luna was gonna shoot you in front of the racing girls and drop another pithy line about, I don't know, Warlord Zsinj sends their regards, and then I'll haul you off to cash in that bounty. Yeah, I think if that sounds like that's how it should go. It'll help block out with with riding the gangs up.
That's awesome. I'm into this.
Yeah. So I think maybe like we get a shot of like Luna like very seriously talking to Taz about like, all right, where do you think you should get shot? Here. I mean, we're both professionals here, but I'd like to get your opinion on this as well.
I mean,
You're gonna
Taz,
recognize if it's a stun, you know.
Yeah. Taz is, hit me in my back. And she'll like gesture precisely, right? Because she has some implants. So there's probably a spot in her back where she wouldn't be as susceptible. But I'm totally interested in, I know we said we don't want to kind of elide the fight. I want to have a little bit of it just because I'm interested. If Taz gets injured in the fight and then we still have to do this, she could get to death's door, which would be super interesting. But yeah, so there's a spot on Taz's back that, like, if you hit her there, and she sells it well, this could work.
Is it like it hits like the back panel to her toxin filtration system? Like,
Yeah.
Because we've established that it's like a filtering, like an artificial kidney kind of thing, right? Like she can breathe normally. So yeah, it's like you like shoot her in the kidney, which would be a kill shot on a Twi'lek, and the Razor Girls should know that. But with hers, it will be okay.
I think that heat can help out by, helping Luna modify the weapon so that it's a stun, but not obviously a stun.
So it doesn't do the concentric circles thing. It's just like a low power.
That's right. Well, I think it looks like a normal shot, but it is very low power. It'll sting, it'll hurt, but it's not going to, damage.
We need like an explode pack so that like when it hits it, there's like, it's
Some
like
little squib there. That's awesome.
Yes. Court only asked because she's seen someone really messed up by a gun. So there's like, do you need some special effects?
Nice. I like that. So do you guys feel like we've got enough to jump into that scene? So I'm just looking at time and I definitely want to see this happen this session. So we cut to down in the hive where the sick boys are, because the Razor Girls are going to bring the fight to them. And I'm thinking that like there's like a hover train track through this part of the hive. So there are all these Duracrete columns, and there's it used to be a bodega, and it's where this is where Luna had gone down and met with the sick boys and Uptown Girled it last time. They were really distracting to the sick boys. They've got their ratty couches out front in the broken glass of the place that they just kind of sack out in, all kinds of neon colored paint and symbols and everything on all the Duracrete columns and the walls. And we pick up with the Razor Girls. They like come on the scene, just their soups zipping by, Razor slicing up a few of the sick boys. Like one guy had a half a thing of some like alcoholic thing, and it's like slices the bottle and takes them across the side with a vibroblade, and they fall in a wet heap. And then Taz, how do you join in the fight? Because as we've already established, so I agree with you, Sable has your ride. So how do you get mixed up in this?
I think that hover train is how we do it. The Razor Girls use it to occasionally move some stuff around, so they have their own like car, their own like Razor car. It's all highlighted with chrome, and it's just gonna come into this area of the hive and like come to one of those screeching halts, like in Solo with all the sparks flying in it. It's like, and then the door flies open and Taz is just there.
Oh man, that's so dope.
Yeah.
Sweet. Give us a roll. Let's see how this opening salvo, right? Is the sick boys are doing the very stupid thing of like Chunk has his little grav hammer and he is like waiting for one of them. And they come in, they like slice him, and he knocks one of the Razor girls off of their speeder bike and starts running forward towards them. And that's when you come by on the hover car, get the Razor car, when you unload on them. So let's say that it's a harried fight, right? So that's going to be one tag that I'm using. And the sick boys are waiting for people to zoom by, right? It's obvious that the Razor car is up there. So we got a couple coming your way, but you definitely have the element of surprise because they were looking more street level. So that's just too negative.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the one for doing it, the BFG, and covering an area.
Okay.
I don't even know if covering an area really applies because that's sort of like a more of a covering fire kind of thing. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just shooting to kill. Hail of bullets would probably be more applicable. So maybe it's just 2. I kind of like that. I like the risk of it. So
okay,
2 versus 2. My apologies if you can hear the cat in the background. She's fine.
Okay.
She gets everything she wants. And
sounds like she's starving. That's definitely a starving cat.
Of course. All right, here we go. Re-rolling. Hey, that's a 5 uncanceled.
Wow, that is not too bad. So you cover an area, you spray, and I think you hit collar. How bad is it for collar? Like, is this thing you take collar out, or he just gets real hard?
Let me look at collar. Collar was one of the ones who gave me a bunch of gruff last time, right? That I had to run from.
Yeah, he's the one who gave you a
I get him. I get him good. If he can get to the block dock fast enough, maybe he'll be okay. But
he's gonna rush. He's gonna rush to block to Metroplex 13, and block dock ain't gonna be there. Oh man, poor collar. Not so much poor collar. And I think it makes sense if you choose hit or a condition. You can take a hit or you can gain a condition.
I want to take a hit. I think it goes off well enough. It surprises them, but they do return fire, and the Razor car is like pretty wide open. So Taz takes a hit getting to cover.
Yeah. I think one of the sick boys was watching as the Razor car came in. And as soon as the door opens up, he lays in a couple shots your way with a blaster rifle, and then you take out collar and zip by. So what's the next round of this, right? The Razor car, does it stop and you jump down in, or do you just keep going and you're going to come back for another pass?
I think at this point I'm like, I'm hiding to try and wait out the rest of the fight to
okay, cool,
because we need a little bit of calm, right? I've probably given the Razor girls the edge, but we need them to get to a good point before Luna can step in and do their part.
Nice. And so Luna, you're watching over this and hearing the chatter. Maybe Taz has tied you into the Razor car chatter, and you overhear, Luna, that some girl named Wisher, who is remote, she's remoting this Razor car so Taz can focus. And she's like, hey, listen, Barrage says that she wants you to do another pass. She needs another pass. So I'm gonna flip it, okay? 180 and send you back.
That's to me.
Yeah, she's telling Taz, like, I'm gonna flip the Razor car around, like pull a 180 and send you back into this because her big sister Barrage has said, yeah, pull her back in another pass. So it's gonna affect you laying low. What do you do?
Taz is like, we don't have time for that. I know it looks good from your console position there, but this is a really hairy fight. Just like isn't really shooting at anyone, but just takes the gun and like shoots it next to the comms so that it's really loud.
Yeah, and you see like the little, vid display of Wisher who's back there with all of her consoles and everything, and her feet propped up on a desk. She kind of flinches when that happens. Like, whoa. Okay, I'll just tell Barrage you're taking heavy fire. Okay. Heat. What is your involvement? Is now the sick boys? At one point, they've knocked one of the Razor girls off of their speeder bike as they zip past. They've come over. There's a pretty messy crunch as Chunk takes out a Razor girl, and then another Razor girl will say that Riddle zips by and slices Chunk across the back, but he's a Gamorrean and also pretty cybered up, so it just kind of makes him mad. What are you doing, Heat?
So what Heat's doing is he's trying to take people out of the fight, aiming at the people who are obviously trying to take out lethal force. So,
So everyone, okay.
yeah, I think that he's trying to make sure, of course, that things look good for the Razor girls, but of course he wants to make sure they don't pull out too fast. They pull out too fast, and then we don't get, the ending that we want.
Got it.
So that's what he's doing is, like as we see someone come by and they're obviously going to, one of the Razor girls is obviously going to slice someone open. That person can't take it. He's going to take out that Razor girl, just stun them. They fall off their bike. They'll wake up later and, all bruised up and, janky.
Oh, sweet. Then I think you're going to have to take a shot on Barrage because she's coming in. Barrage uses a vibro axe. And she's just lowing in, and she's actually doing the thing of like running it along the Duracrete so the sparks kick up as she's about to try to lop off a leg on Chunk. So,
okay,
I think the threat here is you being seen, right? So
right.
You being seen, and it's pretty hairy. Bullets are flying, blasts are flying. So a couple of exactly the secret theme is sparks. It's a spark game. Wait, that's a different game. So 2 negative. Build your roll.
So I'll do 1 for trying, mil-spec grunt and combat reflexes.
Oh, for sure.
And I think I've got a gun. Yes. So I have a gun, and I'm going to say it's accurate. So I think I've got 1 for the gun. So I think that's 4 versus 2.
Okay, 4 versus 2.
Okay. Let me select some dice. I'm going to roll these green ones.
Ooh, those negs rolled high. You got 2 6s though. You could spend. So it says you can spend a stump point to change a die. You could spend a stump point to drop that -6 to a 5, which means you'd be success with a boon. Only if you want to.
And what's the benefit of having a boon?
So a boon means that you can like either spin the boon to say extra, like I would say it's a great success, or you can spin that boon to like throw it someone else's way because you created some kind of opportunity.
Right. So I think what I'm actually doing in this case, since so I am going to do that. And one of my main reasons to do this is to kind of level everything out so that Luna's attack on Taz looks good. Right. So I'd like to pass that boon along to Luna.
Hot. Sweet. So you stun hit Barrage. She rolls screaming off and Chunk lives. He does not lose a leg. And Taz, you were able to talk your way out, but I think maybe we've reached the point where it's a bit of showtime. So how does Taz make sure that all the Razor girls see you and Luna?
Bounty. Let's see. Hold on. I want to make sure they really do see me. I'm trying to think if there's any good. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna roll for a flamethrower. Because roll for flamethrower is like the best roll. Here we go.
It's the best roll of the game. Rolling for flamethrower.
And I get it. So yeah, there's an alternate mode on my BFG where you move the lever and then you spin the crank or something. And she's just gonna lay into this bodega. I don't even know if there's anyone still in there. I think Heat has very like securely stunned people and pulled them into the shadows and maybe stuffed them in a locker. But it's gonna look really cool. And like Taz is doing her job. And maybe there's it's the sick boys, right? So they've got chemicals and all kinds of bad stuff in there that's gonna make the flames change colors. So I'm not really firing to hurt anyone, just to make a big spectacle. So this would be 1 for doing it. This is my gun. I'm covering an area, and then is it? I forget again. Is it per tag or is it just the 1 die for using equipment?
Per tag of the
Per
equipment
tag. So
that
area of
applies in the
effect.
situation.
Yeah, area of effect and collateral damage. We'll do 5.
Dang, nice.
How many negative dice am I rolling?
Oh yeah, I was like, hey, I have a thing I have to do. I think it's going to be the same thing that hit up against heat. So a couple your way of
Okay.
going to make this look good, and there are other people shooting at you, so that could be bad.
That could be bad. Could be very bad. All right, here we go. Rerolling. 6.
Oh,
One of the 2
wow.
cancels, one of the 1 cancels. So
Yeah, 6. So that's a full success. So you like pop on the scene. Their razor girls are kind of roaming around trying to find other sick boys to take down, and you're very visible. Luna, you have a boon die to start with. What does this look like when you bounty hunter the poodoo out of this?
Yeah, I think like I just like from the perspective of Razor Girls, like, you know, Taz is like, you know, like laying on the fire literally, and then from like just like an alleyway, just like a shadowy alleyway, like Luna just kind of like emerge. They've got a trench coat out. This is the most like noir they've looked. And they're pulling out their heavy pistol from like their coat. And just like is pointing straight at, like, you know, Taz is like where they were directed. I think like they say loud enough, at least for like, you know, a Razor Girl, to any of the Razor Girls or someone at least to hear. God, what's the line? Yeah, Warlord Zsinj will see you now.
Ooh, good line. I'm giving you a bonus die for that line. That's good.
Cool, because I think my leg's messing me up, because like or at least like I was trying to look cool, but I was still
Yeah, do you think that card that's true? That'll be a third, so that'll give you a third negative.
Yeah. Cool. Let's build this up. 1 for doing it, 1 for bounty hunter, 1 for shoot, 1 for the accurate tag on this pistol, and a bonus die for that line. Thanks.
And you got the bonus from heat that passed your
Oh
way.
god, that's 6.
You are born to be amazing. I'm sure this will be great. I'm trying to curse you and jinxing you by talking good.
Okay, this is a lot of dice.
You got 3 negatives coming your way too.
Yeah. Oh
wow, that is some crap dice. 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 5.
5.
And you've got a 6 negative, so you can't really push it to a 6 without doing some extra. Really, it looks like, unless you want to get creative here, you're going to be getting a mixed success. Is that right?
Yeah, like I could probably spend 2 stun points to bump that 5 to a 6 and to bump that 6 negative into a 5.
You could. Is that what you want to do?
But depends. What's the complication? I want the can we negotiate this, Rich? Can the negotiation, can the complication just kind of like be specifically on Luna, not on Taz?
Yes, it will certainly be on Luna. The complication would be these Razor Girls still consider Taz like one of their own, and you just come and taking their out, you will be marked. It's not a trauma, but like the complication is that they'll be like, oh, we're taking that Luna Suntel down.
Oh, so can I change the intoxicated condition then into maybe marked or something?
Yeah, that sounds great. You'll have the condition of.
I'm not planning on sticking around for too long anyway, so it's fine.
Exactly.
It's fine. Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, I'm pulling off, I guess, the cackling bounty hunter role way too well.
You were born for this.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, so I think I hit Taz where they're meant to be stunned, and I think like right before like she falls, I just kind of grab them by the scruff of their neck and just kind of drag them into like an alleyway, and then like hopefully there's enough chaos where, well, they saw it.
I think Court, are you the escape driver here? Because that's like
Yep,
what you're
yep.
amazing at. So what do you end up helping Luna and Taz abscond
So
in?
essentially, I would make an equipment die roll, but essentially, I'm very particular.
Okay.
This is a cyberpunk world, right? So I'm going to tell you that there are actually ambulance companies that deal for bounty hunters. They essentially go, they get the bodies, they certify that it is who the bounty hunter says it is, and they do all the paperwork. So
Yeah,
exactly.
like a crash cart.
Yeah.
Totally into it.
So I'm going to say good signage and let's see here, and reputable firm. So
Nice. Okay.
So I'll roll this.
So,
two tags. And I roll a 5. All right.
All right. Fantastic. So you're in the Yin group crash cart, and Taz and Luna drags the dead body of Taz away, and yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And I think that's it. Yeah. And so I brought Eternity with me. We're dressed in scrubs, so when we get out, we do like the little pick the body up. It's good theater, and yeah, take off.
Sweet. And you see is a couple of the Razor girls roll a few thermal detonators into the shop that the sick boys run, and with the chemicals that are in there, it's like boom, 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 it's a series of explosions, and the Razor girls take off, leaving the remnants of the sick boys there. That gang is going to be in a world of hurt for a while before they are able to rebuild, if ever. And let's pick up with Block in the Block dock. I've worked in worse, but not much.
All right, is that supposed to make me feel better about your skills here, Doctor?
No, I'm just being honest.
Well,
I'm very creative. I will make my masterpiece despite the trappings that you have here.
They say restrictions make the best, whatever they say. Here's your diet.
Yes, poor people say that.
Great plot. Yeah. All right. Here's your diet ping. The room's set up. We should be having. I think I just got it on my comm link that they're on their way. Yeah. I don't know exactly what they're looking for. They're going to need to be patched up, obviously. But we'll see what they need here. And I think I hear them right now.
So he's like, yes, Block totally knows what the diet ping is made out of. There was a joke earlier. And Block Doc has he's got this holster of various surgical instruments, and he also has one bottle of Space Purell. He squirts it onto his hands. All right, I'm ready to go.
Wonderful.
And soon enough, the crash cart will arrive with the dead Taz. And the Block Doc will really wish that I had my surgical restraints.
I'm sure we can find something in here to make do.
Do you mind if I stun the patient?
Well, now, Block Doc, I don't like the way you're saying that. When you say victim, you mean the victim of the blasting, right? You don't mean your victim.
I see that she's been shot. I meant victim along those lines. Just a little surgical medical humor.
Oh, it's very funny, Block Doc. We're all laughing. We're dying over your jokes. Hey, Block Doc, we didn't hire you to make jokes. Can you do the job or not?
The jokes are free.
Oh, good.
To throw in.
Good. Someone get me a blaster.
And then we will bring this session to a close as Taz, you're lying on a desk that's been makeshifted into a gurney, and we see one of those little bone saw things is coming closer as the Block Doc is about to get to work. And of course, we'll reveal your new look in our next session.
Nice.
So Sorry, it's 3 sessions in. I don't think there's any end of session stuff, but let's resolve some drive. I think will be a good thing. Yeah, Block, how do you feel that you would do progress towards your take back control of the family business?
I think the only way, well, I think there's a couple things that could be, but I think it would only be like one box in any direction, to be honest. I think speaking his kind of thoughts aloud to everybody about an eventual plan of, no, we want, because his family business is seeing the oversight of Serenno. Like his family business is politics. And I think trying to, destabilize the Imperials through creating another fake rebel cell, I think is the thing. He's further causing chaos in that realm that should, when things finally tip them in his favor.
Yeah, I think a box. That sounds good. We're still building towards it. And then Taz, you've not repaid your debt to the Razor Girls, but they think you're dead.
Transformed it. I'll come up with a different drive, or I'll roll up another one.
Sounds good. Luna moves to the orbitals. Get out. What do you think? You made any progress here?
I think internally Luna's built up more motivation to fulfill their drive, but I think externally, I don't know if they've.
I think internal motivation sounds good. Give me another check on that drive. You're getting closer. Court, getting good with the guys. I think you had the most success of all. You had Heat reaching out to heal you. You were like the rescue driver, 2 different, very tense situations.
I invested heavily in a fellow gang member. Yes.
I think it's 3 boxes.
And came up with the plan, right? Weren't you the first to suggest fake your death?
Oh man, maybe it's 4 boxes. I think you're pretty good with the guys.
Genius at this stuff. Yes. Awesome.
4 boxes on that drive track. And now, Heat, your penance for past deeds. I think you made some success here, right? You really de-escalated a couple of situations, avoided making things worse. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think that, I especially didn't take out the troopers where they were definitely taking lethal force towards us. And the same thing with the Razor Girls and the Sick Boys fight. I took out some of them that would have surely died if I hadn't intervened.
All right. What do you think? 2 or 3 boxes?
A couple's fine. 2's fine.
Okay.
3?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Because he also helped Court out.
Oh, true.
All right. With our remaining time, let's quickly go through some stars and wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who would like to go first for wishes, reminding everyone that our last session is the next session. So we have 1 session left. Any wish you want to stick on there, I will do my 100% best to try to get there.
Cody and I'll go first with wishes. It's not really much of a wish. It's just I was looking at the retirement check because I know we mentioned it about like the drive check and how it works. You have to, if you mark off boxes to cure traumas, you have to roll a negative dice during your retirement check for any unchecked boxes and any ones you have marked off as unavailable to yourself.
Oh, thank you for some.
Yeah, so that's how I read it. We were in the middle of the game too while I was trying to read it, but that's how I read it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's on page 43.
It'll be interesting to see the retirement roll, because I kind of like the idea of mechanizing denouement, the word at the end of the session that we do.
Yeah, I really hope somebody gets there. Yes, mechanizing epilogues. There you go.
There you go.
Sweet. Thank you, Greg. Did you have anything else, or is that okay? Then Cody, it looked like you were itching to go next. So
yeah, I think my wish is I really want to see us up against the wall. I feel like we've luckily like been quick on our feet. We've had plans, we've had gear, we've had ways to like succeed almost always. And that's why I was content. Like, yeah, I'm gonna spend all my stump points because I want to see us when we're like on the run. We can't have a plan. We get cornered. You know what I mean? I want to see it when somebody gets the drop on us instead of us getting the drop on them.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well-
everyone else.
Who'd like to go next?
Yeah, I did just want to ask, was that technically a job? Because then we'd get XP for that, right?
Oh,
Or-
yes, that's a job. Thank you. Yeah, you guys made your own job, and there is XP. Yeah, let's say.
Or just give us the 2 so we can pick out the advancement.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of silly. Yeah, 2. Mark an advancement. Take an advancement, everybody. Because like XP is really low in this game.
Yeah. Maybe
Thank you for that question.
Maybe you need more. You need to stack more negatives against us
To make you botch. I guess that's what I should be doing.
Well, it
Well,
seems like the
somebody
system
wants
is.
to do. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it seems like the system, because you can do all the dice manipulation, doesn't want you to botch. Wants you to avoid
Right.
that.
It seems.
I guess
it seems hard to botch.
It seems like there is a chance, though, if you wanted to, you could manipulate the dice into a botch to then get 1 point of XP. But that doesn't.
Good. You could.
So, yeah.
Action dice are canceled. The only remaining dice are 1s. That is a lot of negatives, right? Because you guys are building pools of 4 to 6 dice.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I don't roll that many negative against you often.
It
But
just seemed like
Cody's called me out, so I'm gonna have to be doing that. That's good stuff. Thank you, Cody. Thanks for keeping me honest. Leandro, any other wishes?
Yeah, I think I do want to say that, like, I'm fine if Luna doesn't get off the city by the last session. I mean, this is a continuous world. Who knows what will happen to them? And yeah, I think I'm curious, at least for myself and for Luna, whether they actually care about anyone about this group. They've been very dismissive, and I'm really playing into the whole they're only in this for the money. It seems like they'll probably care more about this. They'll probably care about some people, maybe not enough. I want to put that to the test.
Okay.
If they'll really have someone's back, much like I'll say, like Heat has had their back this whole time, but like, would they do it in reverse?
So, Luna, you're trying to get off world. Is this just for excitement, or is you're trying to get to something better?
It's something better.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because like they don't want to be stuck in one place. And at the moment they are, for circumstances, or kind of like.
I have an idea. I think we can open with. Yeah. Okay. I have an idea. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Leandro. So who's next, Steven or Sherry?
Go.
Go ahead.
I think what I want is a good scene that will be that point where Court makes their decision about life in the future, provided they survive, of course. That sort of, however this next bit rolls out, will be that thing of, okay, this is my life, or going back to the arcology and living it easy. I've had my excitement.
I want, like, I'm interested in that, but now that I've seen this retirement check on page 43, which I'll stick in the thing, like, I almost want the dice to decide that.
Yeah,
way.
exactly. But I want that scene. You know, those scenes
sure.
that
Yes.
make that.
I want to carve out like the last half hour of next week's session to allow for epilogues, retirement checks, that kind of stuff. So thank you for that. I'm definitely on board with you on that. Anything else? Steven?
Yeah. So I can't think of any wishes. I thought that this went really well. The only thing I can think of, and this might be like we were talking about edging into epilogue territory. I think I see Heat moving on, depending on what happens next session, because Zsinj is getting too close here. With the troops coming so close, I think he's putting people in danger, and he needs to move on to get away from this. So I think that's kind of we can do that in an epilogue at the end of next session without any problems.
Fun.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Steven, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stuff.
To be honest, I'm really digging the system, the dice system, the rolling mechanics, being able to manipulate them. I think that was my star last time. I felt like it gave us all a chance to be successful. And then there were a few times where the dice weren't with us and we were very unsuccessful. So it felt very good to be able to roll both ways.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Stephen. Sherry, what about you? Do you have any stars?
I am surprised at how much I like the dice system. At first, I was like, "Oh, that's just frippery," but it does add like everyone goes to watch the dice and to go, "Oh, what they happen." So you don't see that very often. So that's cool. I actually kind of like this tag thing that you pick, like what aspect of your personality or your character that you're using, and then you run down that line, and you can spend points to use more. But it's good. You're going, okay, I'm being our arcology brat for this to solve this problem. Here I'm being the rev head and those things. I think it is that sort of thing of going, this is my character. This is when they do these things. And that's a good reinforcing thing. It's a good mechanic. But also it would be ridiculous if I didn't say, I love this group for going, yeah, let's do the most ridiculous, stupid, goofy plan so that we can, so it has been the best, yes, let's do it group. Really fun. Thank you.
For sure. Thanks, Sherry. Leandro, any stars stand up?
Yeah. Since folks have been saying a lot about the system, I want to shout out. Yeah. This group just kind of like committing to this plan and adding like their fun embellishments and just I think people's commitment to everything is kind of like my favorite part about it, about this so far. I also love like the opening, all those kids running around the cantina with this pop star and having to deal with that and the fuzz coming in. That was a fun opener. And also shout outs to the block doc. I love Rich's NPCs, but part of me does feel like we got that final scene just so we could get more of the block doc, which I'm not complaining.
True.
I know there's probably no more reason to have the block doc next session, but maybe just like a tiny more, a small wish.
I mean, he needs to get paid, I think. So
exactly. You need like a long, like maybe 20 minutes negotiation scene with the block doc.
Oh, wait, what's up with this? Cody wants us to get in a hard situation, and Leandro wants us to like to go see the doctor. I'm just hearing more and more death.
Obviously, but not dead, just like hurt real bad, right? Because if they're dead, you don't go see the doc. Oh, you see, you brought me some extra parts. Sorry. Cool. Thank you so much, Leandro. Cody, do you have any stars that were left on the table for you?
The fake your death plot is the absolute wildest thing. I love it. Sherry, that was genius. And like you said, I think it was rad to have everybody latch onto it so quickly, because I feel like, oh, fake your death, like it's a thing from movies and TV, but people aren't like, yes, let's do that. And so everyone going like, that is the perfect way to get out of this was just awesome. And it reminds me of, like noir stuff I've read in the past. It reminds me of Sin City. It reminds me of it doesn't matter, but it reminds me of these other stories where it's like, no, I'm gonna fake my death and get out of this thing. It's genius. And it's like a tried and true thing. But when we started the game, Rich, and you were bringing those really evocative questions about the past and the cantina and this Kofuku and stuff like that, like I had forgotten, maybe it's been a minute or I just hadn't realized it in a while, but it's like I forgot how great those are to set up a session and to establish kind of everybody getting their hand on the ball to build the world too. I think that's just, it's obviously it's such a great mechanic. It's in all these games we play on the Gauntlet and stuff like that, but it was just like, yes, you did it. It was a great way to start the session. So I just stars there.
Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it. Greg, what about you?
Going last on stars. Everyone's already stolen most of mine. No. It's fine. I really am enjoying the game. I'm enjoying playing with everyone. I will echo once again the let's shoot Taz in the back and make it look like she died was genius. And then also the idea that there's an ambulance service that is tied to bounty hunters exclusively and deals with the bounty was like, oh, chef's kiss.
Mhm.
It reminds me of there's actually somebody who like got artificial vinyl wraps for their van and business cards and stuff so they could park in commercial parking spaces in New York City. Business doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. They just pretend. And so yeah, I love a court like came to the rescue, and then poor Taz like is making her think twice about this world, which I enjoy a lot. And yes, I'm terribly concerned about going underneath the knife with the block doc, which was exactly what I was looking for the cybernetic doctor scene. So super excited to see where it goes. I have changed a couple things. So now I've decided that like we never really discussed how exactly I'm going to pay off the debt. So that's my new drive. The new
Nice.
cyber Leiku and the appearance I have to pay back over time. That's my new drive.
Sounds good. Yeah. I like it. A couple quick before I let you guys go. Cody, I appreciate during the establishing questions with Kofuku, I expected Block would hate this. And I love the nuance that you added by saying Block pretends to hate this because you, the player, number one, like you wanted to make it interesting and nuanced, probably, but number two, realized, oh, well, the thing that Block wants is for like this block to do well, and this isn't a bad thing for the block, even if it is arcology kids slumming. You obviously are okay with that because of court. So that was really nice, and that tilted the scene in a much more positive way than I expected. I expected everyone was going to be dying to get rid of the arcology breath because you hated them, but in actuality it was like, no, we probably just don't want these kids to get hurt, let's lead them out, that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed that delighted me, that tilted the scene in a much more fun way than I thought it was going to go when I started like setting things in motion. So that was really cool. Props to Greg for the like droideca shield use. Like, oh my god, my brain just fired a bunch of neurons. And Leandro, the response from Luna to Aerie was really fun. I didn't know where that would like hiding behind the bar scene would go, and I thought that was a pretty nice scene. I would have loved to have teased it out a bit more, but maybe there's more down the road. Yes, and the one-liner is totally sick. That was the best, worth a die for sure. Courts, you guys already heaped praise on Cherry, but I've just add in die to the positive die to the pile. And Steven, Heat skulking around in the shadows and just like sniping people was super evocative, and like we didn't even necessarily highlight a whole lot, but I could just see it in my mind, my cinematic mind, and that was very exciting. So that was cool. He had some awesome action sequences this session. Good stuff all around. Really enjoyed this session. Oh, and the Taz and Sable scene was fun. Super fun. So I had so much fun this session. Thank you guys so much. We'll be finishing things up next week. So I will stop the recording here.